That was Morrissey with Suede Head. You're listening to BBC Six Music. I'm Russell Brand, standing in for Nemone for the last of my 3 nights, standing in for her. She'll be back tomorrow then. I'm here with Karl Pilkington. Over the next 3 hours till 1 o'clock, we've got some brilliant things in store. We're going to be analysing the news, talking about man's relationship with beasts. We're going to talk a bit about Jesus. In a Christian sense. We're certainly not going to undermine Jesus, who did some jolly good work. We're also talking about extraterrestrials later in the show. Karl might do some Bible readings, and Karl's got a brilliant competition, ain't you, Karl?
Yeah, it'll be alright, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's very exciting.
We've had a few requests for the feature.
Yeah,
so Rockbusters.
Yeah, Rockbusters. That's it. That's what it's called.
So we'll give away some DVDs and that.
I think that's going to be awesome. A bit of fun for all of us. We might talk about mysteries and doppelgangers a little bit later. Send us some text if you want to make predictions for things that might happen over the next year. But we've got some fantastic music coming up over the next hour. We've got a session from 1992 of Radiohead. That'll be amazing to have a little listen to. We've got Arctic Monkeys, XTC. We've got loads of things. It's worth staying with us for the next 3 hours, if only to hear Karl's competition. I don't know the answers to these. I'm going to join in that competition because some of them prizes are desirable. So stay with us. That was Coldplay with Talk. You're listening to Six Music. I'm Russell Brand, standing in for Nemone over the Christmas period with Karl Pilkington. I think, right, today's the 29th of December. This is like the last legitimate opportunity we're going to get to talk about Christmas. Later on in the show, we've got a lot of other topics to cover. So let's quickly just talk once and for all about Jesus and Christmas and that. Now, I've had a look at the Bible, but I saw that Passion of the Christ, right, last year, and it's good, sort of, because it's like as much as any sort of biblical story can be. It's authentic, used like Mel Gibson, who directed it, used authentic Latin languages and Aramaic and stuff to tell the story, right? And it's sort of, as we all know, Jesus did those miracles, did many wonderful things, preached peace and compassion. Right, so what I thought was, right, fair enough, focus on those things for the films, for the film Passion of the Christ. Where I'll take issue with the film Passion of the Christ, right, Karl, is that there was a scene in it where, Jesus as a younger man, before he's, started getting properly into the preaching, so there's a scene where he's, credited with the invention of the dinner table, right? He's there at home, in the workshop with Mary, and he's making because in sort of ancient, or not ancient, in biblical times, they sort of apparently dinner tables, they ate at tables that were sort of you sit on the floor, you wouldn't sit at chairs. And Jesus, however, he's working on a waist-tight table. Mary comes in, she sees this. Jesus, what are you doing? It's a table I'm making, mother. She goes, a table, you say, at waist height, and he goes, yeah, you may not think it now, but I have a funny feeling it might catch on, right, and almost winks to the camera. And I think, why do you need to, Jesus has done all these amazing things, why do we need to make out that he invented the table? I've looked right through the Bible, start to finish, looking for a bit saying Jesus was the mind behind IKEA. Then there's no evidence to suggest that he is at all.
But it's the same thing, isn't it, as the sort of Shane Ritchie problem now. He doesn't know what he wants to sort of own. Do you know what I mean? I like Shane Ritchie, he's a likeable fella, but sometimes I wonder if an alien landed and said,
as one might.
And said, Shane Ritchie, what does he do? Or whatever, if they talk like that. I'd go, do you know what, mate? I'd say, you've got me there.
Yeah.
I won't be able to help him, because it's kind of, is he a comic? Is he a singer? Is he an actor?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got many talents, and I'm not having a go at him for that.
And you think Jesus, in a way...
That's what he's doing there, isn't it? He's like saying, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. What, you want water into wine? Yeah, leave that with me. Tell you what, though, what you need with that wine is a table. And here's a chair, and it's like, what?
Hold on a minute, focus, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
But of course this is just, I will point out, because we don't want to blaspheme, not during the Christmas period, that it is Mel Gibson's depiction of Jesus, rather than an objective or actual Jesus, who never claimed to be the inventor of tables. Nor did Shane Ritchie, really. Shane Ritchie, I think, has had quite a focused career. That was Decent Days and Nights Future Heads. Before that, we had a world tour from A Tribe Called Quest. You're listening to Six Music with Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington. We was having a bit of a chat about the passion of the Christ, right? And sort of the issue that I had with it is, it's already a story that contains miracles, the Son of God coming to earth to redeem mankind. Does it need jazzing up by saying that Jesus invented the table? my answer to that hypothetical question that I've self-posed is no. And like then another bit, right, at the end of the film, they had a raven coming, like when Christ's up on the cross, they had a raven come down and, like, you know, Barabbas, the thief who was released instead of Jesus.
I don't know.
Well, apparently they goes to the people, who do you want released, you know, out of this lot? One of them is Jesus, bear in mind. They said Barabbas, the thief, you know. And like, anyway, as I remember, in the Passion of Christ, a raven came down and started pecking out someone's eyes, like one of the people on the cross, like not Jesus, obviously one of the others. I thought, well, that's not necessary, is it? You know, to have, because I mean, it's not in. Again, I've looked in the Bible. At no point does it say, and though a raven came down and pecked out. Just cinematic license and unnecessary.
That's what they do, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to bother seeing it, because it's been out ages, hasn't it? It's sort of gone now, that. It's sort of
let it go. And look, you're reading the Bible anyway, aren't you? So you can just get the information first hand.
I mean, it is interesting, all different religions and stuff.
Yeah.
And about a year ago, right, I kind of thought, you know, people talk about it a lot, there must be something in it, you know, there might be something in there that I'll enjoy, something to do a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
I like stories. And a lot of it is about stories.
A lot of it's, parables, stories and that.
Fables and all that,
fables,
right? So I was like, I could get into this. And I was looking at different religions, and I thought, what I'll do, I'll just try them all out, and sort of find out, you know, which one, sort of, do you have to give the most time to? Because I didn't want anything that was overpowering.
Right, yeah, well that's the thing with a religious faith, you don't want to have to devote too much time to it.
Too much time, I didn't want to have to get up too early for it, but, you know, I'd be willing to help people out, and I think at the end of the day, if you're prepared to do that, then you're onto a winner.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I didn't get that far into it. I saw a little Buddhist fella, because I thought, they always seem happy, they're always singing and stuff. Yeah. I've got a bald head anyway, right?
Fair enough, you're on the way.
And I spoke to some fella on Oxford Street.
Yeah.
And he was a little Buddhist bloke, and I said, alright, and he was like, yeah, alright. But I don't know where he was from. He was from somewhere in the world where he couldn't understand me and I couldn't understand him. Yeah, that could be anywhere other than within the confines of your mind, Carl. Yeah. I would like to. And I said, look, your religion and that, is it any good? And he gave me a plum. Right. But that's one of them fruits that you don't want to eat when it's from someone else, because it's too. Do you know what I mean? It's not eat the skin. That's the problem. He touched it. Yeah. Did he not look clean? He did look clean, but it's sometimes, you know, you see films where they inject stuff into fruit. I don't think that's part of Buddhism. I don't think one of the tenets of Buddhism is inject fruit with an elixir to make people Buddhist. It's all about giving and generosity and spirituality, isn't it? I mean, maybe if you had grubby fingernails, I can understand your reluctance. Well, you did a bit of it, didn't you? I hung out with the Hare Krishnas for a while, and like sort of went to. They've got a mansion that George Harrison bought them, right? Called Back to Devanta Manor. I love these Hare Krishnas. They're all lovely. They're lovely, right? But like any group of people, there are certain individuals, like, you know, sort of like, you know, there's good and bad in everyone. So like I went down there and they said, like, yeah, we've got this, like, what's the main tenets of your religion? Well, life is only an illusion, all material is meaningless. Life's a meaningless illusion, and don't get too attached to material objects or material possessions. I goes, I noticed there's a celebration today. What is that? It's the anniversary of the day George Harrison gave us this fabulous mansion. So I was like, well, hold on, you just said don't get all excited about material possessions, right? And they said, well, you know, it was a lovely gesture by George. Then they said the cow is sacred. Then this woman, lovely woman, Vashana, who's really brilliant, was explaining to me, oh, the cow is sacred in our faith. That's why we here at the Back to Devanta Manor for Hare Krishnas have got all these cows we keep down here in the cow shed. I'll take you to them. She started leading me towards the cow shed, saying, oh, it's symbolic of the relationship of the mother and child. Krishna's favourite animal was the cow. It's all very, you know, sort of, it's a beautiful, peaceful, life-giving animal. Right, and she was telling me it's on the way to the cow shed. We walked into the cow shed, and there was a bloke there hitting one with a stick to get it to go through a gate. I was like, well, this under my... And he had gold teeth and tattoos on him and stuff. He was like sort of a Russian gangster. I wasn't like... She was like, oh, don't worry about that. You know, sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. I said, oh, I've not seen that in the Back to Devanta. So if you were a cow... Yeah. In this country, and you could talk and that, you would be like, oh, I want to get over there. Because they think you're sacred. Because in Egypt, it's the same with cats, isn't it? Yeah, they are. And have you seen in the Sun today, right? Yeah, cats are sacred in Egypt. Have you seen in the Sun today, there's a story, 6 reasons people give for abandoning pets, right? This is in the Sun. Some of the, like the RSPCA have revealed owners give
some sick, pathetic excuses for dumping their pets to shelters. Here are just some of the excuses that we've had. We dumped our cat because it doesn't match the new carpet. That's one excuse. Well, I'm a cat owner. I've got a black and white cat. Goes with everything. Just got to think ahead when making the purchase. That's what I'd say. Another person says, the dog hurts my legs when it wags its tail. And I wonder if that's like because the legs are near to the wagging tail, or it's just like there's some weird correlation going on. It's Further On Up the Road by Bobby Bland. This is Six Music. We've got a session track for you now. This was recorded for Radio 1's evening session on the 13th of June 1992. It's a real treat. It's Radiohead with Creep. This is Russell Brand on Six Music. That was Radiohead with Creep, recorded in 92 at one of the Radio 1 evening sessions. And when we queued up the track, I described it as a real treat, which Carl was then all cynical about. Oh, real treat. But he just then made me feel alienated and confused, which made me appreciate a ballad of alienation like Creep all the more. So by insulting me, you've inadvertently enhanced my enjoyment of that track, because if that track is for anyone, it is for the dispossessed, and in that moment you made me one of them by going, real treat. So, you know, in a way, that has backfired on you, Pilkington, that attack. But let's move on now to a contest, why don't we? Right, so Carl does these competitions, Rockbusters, is that what you call them?
Call it Rockbusters, yeah. Right, I'll just give you a little taster of how it works.
Go on.
If you haven't heard it, then you don't know what goes on.
Yes, go on.
Basically, right, I give you some initials of an artist or a band or something.
Yeah.
And then there's a cryptic clue.
Cryptic, is it?
Sort of cryptic-ish, right? That gives a clue as to that band or artist. Right, it sort of makes up the title of the song.
Okay.
So if I said to you, if I said, I gave you the initials N-D.
Yes, N-D.
And then I say, what would I say? I'd say something like, oh, that garden tool, it's not yours, that, right?
That garden tool is not yours, and we know that the initials are N-D.
And that would be...
Right, so...
That'd be, like, what's a garden tool?
Garden tool, I don't know, a hoe, a spade,
well, you can
a shovel.
But the one I'm thinking about is a rake.
Right.
It's not yours. What you're doing with that, you've stolen that, right? So that's nicked.
Nicked.
Yeah.
Drake. Nicked rake. Nick Drake.
Nick
Brilliant.
Nick
okay,
Drake.
so this is that's the competition, and like if you can, that's not an actual one now. That was just an example. I don't know the answer, so I'm going to be playing along as well. The prizes are essentially it's Carl's DVD clear out, right? It's DVDs that you've watched or you're bored of.
Yeah.
Right, one DVD is The Day After Tomorrow. What have you got against that?
It's just, I mean, I like sort of weird things that happen on the planet, anything with a tornado in it, or bad weather, and all that. I love all that, but I've seen it. Don't want to watch it again.
Right, so that's one prize you could be winning. Phone Booth, Colin Farrell film. What?
Enjoyed that, but I watched it once, loved it.
Yeah.
Watched it again just to see if there was any flaws in it, any little holes and that I could say, oh, they added there.
Troubleshooting.
Couldn't find any.
Yeah.
The only bad thing with that is, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's basically the message is, you know, don't pick up the phone or don't
help others.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Don't pick up the phone, that's the central message. I wouldn't mind that, I'll be in the running for that, because I've not seen either of those. But Nighty Night by Julia Davis, that DVD, that's still in its cellophane wrapping, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought I'd left it too late, it's sort of been and gone.
Right, the bus has gone, it's right. And then you've got Marion and Jeff and The Life Aquatic. I've seen The Life Aquatic, that's a really good film, why are you giving that away?
Didn't like it, it was all
It's beautiful, I've really enjoyed it, it's visually stunning.
Yeah, I know, but that isn't enough in a film, is it?
What's it, this is visually stunning?
Well, it's not about that. If that's the case, I wouldn't like The Elephant Man.
Right.
It's not visually, you know, a good-looking fella, but it's a brilliant film.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, brilliant film, isn't it? Very moving, touching, noble, wonderful man. Alright, but we'll talk about The Elephant Man later, definitely. Oh, and also another prize, Steph, our producer's got these Pink Floyd books. Oh, she's holding them now. It's nice to have her here. She'll probably clear off to a party, I would have thought, within half hour. She'll be sick and tired of us, leaving us like orphans. Thank you very much, Steph. Right, these Pink Floyd books, Dark Side of the Moon, The Making of Pink Floyd's masterpiece. Oh, that'd be alright. So yeah, it's like 3 copies of that. So if you can answer Carl's cryptic rockbuster, also I'm going to be in the running. So, but if I get one right, I'll take it. But I won't take all the prizes, and also I might not get any right. So go on, what's the clue?
Do you know what I think we should do, right? Because people will be loving this.
Yeah.
Let them get some pen and paper on that, right?
Right, and then we'll do it after.
And we'll do it after the next.
Sunny Road from Emiliana Torini. This is Six Music. Russell Brand standing in for Nemone with Karl Pilkington, who just said that he reckons that he could have Emiliana Torini's voice playing in his head at all times. Don't you think it would eventually, though, it would start to annoy you, wouldn't it?
No, it's just soothing, isn't it?
Alright, but say you don't want to be soothed, perhaps you're entering into a bout of aggressive lovemaking with your partner, and you've got Emiliana Torini's Sunny Road, all gentle, and that might be
just, what I didn't tell you is I've got a little volume knob on the side of my head.
You turn it down.
A bit, yeah.
Well, no, but that's, you've undermined the premise. You said you wanted it at all times. Who wouldn't you like to have in your mind at all times?
Musically.
Ice Cube.
Something like that.
Ice Cube, making you insecure.
I don't like any song when you can't hear what they're telling you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
You like it to be clear. You like there to be clear narratives, which is why about every 10 minutes you bring up your love of In the Ghetto.
In the Ghetto, Elvis, brilliant. You can hear it, there's a story, it's got a start, a middle and end. But all this rap, I can't hear what they're saying.
Right.
Opera. It's nothing to do with, rap and stuff. It's opera, the same problem, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
So
don't know operas, but that's in Italian or German or something. Just like very clearly to know what's going on. Alright, and yet you see fit yourself to pose riddles for others, like your patented Rockbusters. Come on, what's the first Rockbuster? You can win like a variety of DVDs and books and that. Also, what I'd like you to do, right, if you're having a little bit of a listen, you can text in with whose voice would you most like to have going on in your mind all the time, and whose would you least like to have going on all the time inside your mind, and also which DVD you might like to win, and of course you've got to answer the Rockbuster inquiry. What is it then? Right then, so there's 3 little clues. Will we do... to get one? I think we should just do one at a time, don't you? Well, we should have thought this through, shouldn't we? Do all 3. Do what you're happy with. Go with your instincts. You're the creator of the Rockbuster. I don't want it ever to be said that I've impeded you. We'll do all 3, right? But we won't say who the winner is until after midnight. Is that fair enough? Alright, fair enough. Oh, you keep people hanging on. Well, that's what you do, innit, on the radio and that. Yeah. You're a cruel, cold man. Right, let's hear these clues then. Listen then. So the first clue, right? The Scottish fella can't get into his emails. Scottish fella can't get into his... What's the initials? KL. KL. Scottish fella can't get into his emails. Now, the Scottish fella, forget, he's not an artist who's Scottish and that. You've just got to look at that clue and think about, right... Scottish fella, you think Jock, Hamish, something like that. You could, think about the way they speak or something. It could be, do you know what I mean? They're really cryptic, right? Really cryptic. I mean, sometimes it's easier just to look at the initials and go, who could that be, and then think about the clue afterwards. Think about the initials first. Are they so cryptic, Karl, that sometimes you just think, well, you've wasted an hour of my life? Well, we'll see. I'll let you decide that when I give you the answers and that. You might, go mental. Brilliant. So, alright, so that's the first one. Right? Okay, what else? Second one. Yeah. If you get, like, a light bulb, right? Yeah. And you look after that light bulb when it's young. Yeah. Right? And, you look after it, you teach it stuff. Yeah. What's going on there? Right, what are you doing? And the initials are? R. R, just R? Just R, yeah. Looking after a light bulb, nurture it, treasure it when it's young, the initial is just R. If you can answer, if you know the answer, these are baffling to me, but if you know the answer, you could be winning Life Aquatic, Nighty Night, or the making of Dark Side of the Moon. I've just had a look at that, it's really interesting. Yeah. And what's the third? The last one is, the Australian fella picks 2 men. The Australian fella picks 2 men. Yeah. Initials are? E. Okay, so, let's go quickly summarise it for us. So the first one, the Scottish fella can't get into his emails. What's going on there? And the initials are KL. KL. Right, okay. Second one, you get a bulb. Yeah. Right? You look after it. Yeah. Right? While it's young, you nurture it. And that, you nurture it, and that, you're teaching it stuff. What's going on there? Yeah. R. Initial R. Right, R. And the third and final one? The Australian fella picks 2 men. Right, Australian fella picks 2 men. Okay, so those are the 3 clues. E is the letter for that one. Right. You can text us on 64046, or you can give us a call if you like on 08700 100 600. We'll get you right on the air. Or you can email us at russell.sixmusic.co.uk. russell.sixmusic@bbc.co.uk. There you are, it couldn't be less confusing. And we'll just let them get on with that whilst we're chatting and playing songs and that. And we've got plenty of songs to be getting on with. After midnight, we can just, pick out a winner and... We'll reveal the answers and let out the booty. Also, sort of perhaps text us, what artists would you most like to have inside of your mind at all times? And what would be the drawbacks of that? Surely there would be some problems. Let's get on the music, shall we? Going Nowhere by Cut Copy. Before that we had Statue of Liberty, XTC. This is Russell Brand standing for Nemone on your BBC Six Music. I'm here with Karl Pilkington with his Rockbusters quizzes and queries, right? I was about to say, you wasted everyone's time because I think they're impossible, that no one will ever, if we could sit here till the end of time and no one will get those cryptic clues. We've had, like, already, like, 4 people that have got them completely right. Brian from Manchester, you're right. Who else is right? Ian in Southend, you're right. Then there's someone from Scotland, TC in Glasgow, he goes, you can keep them DVDs, lads. He ain't interested. He's not getting seduced by your contests. And then Paula from the bank says, I don't have a Scooby on those Rockbusters, but I'd like a Pink Floyd book. Well, Paula, you know, working in a bank, you may have a good, strong foothold in the world of capitalism, but you can't start throwing your weight round here. You'll have to enter the competition like a normal person. Karl, I reckon that you should think of some new ones and we should give these people the prizes because they've come up with it so quickly. I know, but we've only got what do you want me to do? Go home and see what the DVDs are? Go and get some more DVDs. Perhaps, you know, perhaps you could give up some of your shoes or something. No, just leave it. Listen, if you were getting into Buddhism, you'd have to renounce some of your material possessions. I don't think you'd stand a chance. Whoa. That person offered you a plum, you turned your nose up at it because you thought he was a bit grubby, then you're clinging on these DVDs already making way. I reckon we should reveal the answers and you should think of some more. You've got more of these things in your mind, haven't you? Yeah, but we haven't got many DVDs. Of course we have. We'll get more. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go over around Jupiter's desk. He's got all sorts of DVDs lying around there. We'll go and load ourselves up with Phil Jupiter's booty. Come on. Right. Brian from Manchester, you were right. So go and say the clues, the first clue again. And you give the answer, yeah? Yeah, and I'll give the answer. Right, the clue was a Scottish fella. Right. He can't get into his emails. Why is it? The answer is Kenny Loggins. Kenny Loggins. Correct answer, Brian from Manchester. I would never have got that. Alright. The second one, right, you get a little bulb and that, right? You sort of look after it, right? Yeah, when it's young and stuff, and you teach it stuff. Yeah. Right? The initial was R. Yeah. Razor light. You raise a light. You literally raise a light. And what was the third and final one? The Australian fella picks 2 men. Picks 2 men? Eminem. I'll have that one or that one. Eminem. Perfect. Well, Brian from Manchester, you were right. Ian in Scotland, you were right. Right, so send in, text us or call us now. Tell us what, you can both have a copy of the Pink Floyd book, but then we've got to divide up phone booth, nighty night, day after tomorrow, and Mary and Jeff between you. Do you know what, right? How about this? Yeah, right. Well, they do a playoff. No, what I'm thinking is, why don't people make their own? Yeah. Send them in to us. And we'll do them. Alright, we'll challenge it. Oh, well, like it's a two-way street, Karl. Right, you send your ones in to us, but we want prizes off of you. And the only currency I understand is kissing from good-looking women. That was Caught by the River by Doves. Before that, we had 5 Man Army by Massive Attack. This is Six Music with Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington. Thanks very much for your text messages. Right, Mark Smith, you were just a bit too late. You did have the right answer with, for Karl's cryptic Rockbusters quiz. Right, it was Kenny Loggins, Razorlight, Eminem. Yes, that's true. And, here, this is, actually Steve from Cardiff says that he would like to have Joe Strummer in his head. He'd like to have Joe Strummer in his head. What, if one song was sort of going over and over in your head? Not necessarily one song, one artist. If he had to have it permanently in his mind, constantly, he'd go for Joe Strummer. He wouldn't like to have Ozzy Osbourne in his head at all times. Particularly because Ozzy would occasionally get bored of performing and just start making emotional demands, wouldn't he? Oh, I can't work the remote control, Sharon, that kind of stuff. Yeah, probably like an instrumental's best as well, isn't it, thinking about it? Get an instrumental because then you can, if you need words. To... Yeah. What if you need to focus on a task, on some administrative thing? Callum reckons that he sent a text saying he would hate to have Sean Paul constantly in his mind. Can anyone understand what he says? No, I don't know if anyone can. See, that's what's bad, isn't it? Because it's like, he could have something really important to say. Yeah. And we're all going, what's he saying? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Like we were talking about Jesus earlier, if Jesus had murmured, yeah, or, you know, just been inarticulate or used opera, then Christianity would not have taken the world by storm in the fashion that it has. And we wouldn't have tables and chairs. We'd have no table, we'd all be sat on the floor, eating our food off of tiles with bleeding gums. Can you imagine what kind of world that would be, Karl? Got another text here, this is from Catherine and Peter in Bath. they're enjoying our show, and they said, can you explain the meaning of apocryphal rhubarb as mentioned in last night's show? Could it be a new religion or a new religious concept? Well, apocryphal means, like, I think it means at least a story that's reported to be true, reputedly true, but ain't necessarily so. We gave the example of George Washington chopped down that tree. Carl still doesn't understand this.
I don't know how you get all these... where's the room in your head, right, where you're keeping all these words?
I cleared it out of a big blaze of heroin throughout my teens and 20s.
I'll tell you, right, I got a new phone the other day for Christmas. You know, I sort of treat myself.
Well, you bought it for yourself?
Yeah, just a new little mobile.
Mobile, right? Yeah, okay.
And it's got that predictive text on it.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure that my new phone is brainier than me, right?
I would not dispute that. I reckon we should let it co-host the rest of the show.
No, I was probably sending a text to you, and I was putting in ain't, right? As in, like, I ain't got a clue.
Is not, yeah.
Ain't. And I put in ain't, looked at the screen, and it had brought up biotechnology.
It brought up biotechnology?
Who's sending that on a text?
Well, possibly terrorists. I mean, so, like, I think it's good that it's anticipated that. You were trying to say ain't.
Ain't. I mean, I don't know if it works on everyone's phone. It'd be interesting to see if different phones are brainier than others, really. Because,
you know, there's a machine somewhere in the world, some computer machine. My phone's a daft. It interferes with my life.
What would it say if you put in ain't? Just try and...
I can't be bothered, Russell. Alright, well, let's try it. We'll do it now. Let's just put in ain't now. A-I-N-T. Ain't.
You see, what's probably happened is it's got used to you.
It's got used to me doing it. So hold on, now it's typing this. Core blimey, I'm ever so lonely, so I am. What wouldn't I give for the company of a lady or sank? That's what it's gone on. It's just predicted my whole mood there, just from that little bit of information that it got then. Hey, what was I going to say about phones and technology and stuff like that? Oh yeah, right, there's a machine, do you know that there's like a computer that listens to all our phone calls and all of our texts to make sure that, you know, because it's sensitive to, like, crime and terrorism. So if you send a text message that says in it something like, if you send a text message, right, try it with your friends. If it said, like, cocaine, bomb, communism, those are all buzzwords that mean it would alert this computer thing, and I'd say, hello, someone's sending text messages here that are of a dubious nature. So be very careful if you send text messages that contain that kind of information.
I don't think I need to worry.
Why? Because you don't send that.
No.
I suppose if you're sending a text message that says, get me some cocaine, I need it to get the confidence up, I've planted a bomb, also we ought to consider the Communist Manifesto, then perhaps the CIA should keep their eyes peeled.
Mine probably won't say it, it'd say something else, like biological something or other. It's just
recalcitrant, uppity fool, you, Carl. I'm glad it stepped in. Setting Sun there by Chemical Brothers. Brilliant to listen to it for 5 minutes 27 seconds, but would you like it in your head for all eternity, Karl Pilkington?
No. I mean, it's good and everything, like you say, but
after a while, it would send you over the edge. But for 5 minutes 20, that was 5 minutes of bliss, wasn't it?
It was
just to have that.
Yeah.
Listen to Six Music. I'm Russell Brand here with Karl Pilkington. Yeah, so here's some things to text us about and email us about and phone us. The phone numbers 08. What is the phone number, Carl? 0800. I know that's the start of it.
08700.
08700. Oh Christ! What a way to begin.
100 600.
08700 100 600.
Yeah.
You can give us a little bell and tell us what artist or group would you like to have in your mind at all times, and which one would you least like to have? Or you can text us on 640406, same information. Or you can, I think, just use those mediums. You can email us if you want, but if you want to do that, you've got to investigate it for yourself.
Well, it's might as well say it in the time you said that. I might as well just say it's russell.6music@bbc.co.uk.
It just confuses me saying things with a lot of dots in it, because I feel like I'm using Morse code, punctuation. It's baffling way to communicate. I'm scared of the internet anyway, as you know. I just find it a very
it's weird,
difficult way to communicate with people. But, you know, hey, let's get with it. Grow up, stop being such a square. Now, what I wanted to talk about is this competition, right? So we did Carl's Rockbusters. It was a roaring success, but Brian from Manchester and Ian quickly got the answers, right? So we've had to give away the prizes. We've got one Pink Floyd book left. Oh, and Life Aquatic's still in here. Someone can have that as well. So, like, we've got another prize here. But I like doing Rockbusters, right? And I want people to do more of them. We've had some brilliant suggestions.
I know, but we haven't got any prizes.
Right, we've not got any prizes, but we have got options, Carl, right? We've got a couple of options, right? you're friends and colleagues with Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant. You could plunder them for merchandise. I'm friends with David Walliams.
No, but this is asking favours. If I had a mate who was a doctor and he was saying, "Oh, my leg needs to come off," do you know anyone? I wouldn't sort of start dragging my mates in to say,
"Alright, let's get him." I'll tell you what.
Got a bad leg.
Let's get a alright, if someone, alright, so then let's not just think, oh, let's have celebrity people, right? Like, you know, alright, I know Lee Francis, creator of Bo Selector, we could get him to give some DVDs, signed DVDs as prizes. Or I also know a bloke who's a plumber, like he'll come round to your house and mend your pipes. But I'll tell you this, that bloke who's a plumber, he also dresses up in women's underwear, so if you want him rifling through your drawers, fair enough. Now we've got another, like, so look, there's some of the I think we could go and raid Phil Jupitus' desk. He's got a bounty in there. He's got all sorts of stuff. What's your and anyway, people will understand. If people want to do Rockbusters, right, they could do it for the love of doing the Rockbusters, and, you know, hopefully they'll get a prize. But
That's asking a lot, though, isn't it?
No guarantee. What's it? No, because there's some good suggestions. What was this suggestion here? Oh yeah, look, this is from Tommy in Fife. His suggestion is Scottish garage assistant fella describes Diesel. Scottish garage assistant fella describes Diesel. So it's going to be like an accent describing Diesel or another kind of fuel. That's Tommy from Fife's one.
Is he saying that they've run out of fuel?
No, he's just describing it. It just says he describes it. He's not saying, Scottish, yeah, I think that'd be a better clue, yeah. He's saying that they've run out of fuel. Scottish garage assistant fella says that there's no fuel here. That's Tommy from Fife's suggestion with a little bit of Karl Pilkington magic just sprinkled over the top. Then, there's another one, that painting smell nice, what's going on there? We don't know, that's just sent by an anonymous person, just for the love of Rockbusters. You see, you're creating a phenomenon here, Karl.
So what's the initials on that one?
The initials are, on the first one, the Diesel describing fuel one, Scottish fella describing fuel, that's SP, and the painting smelling nice, what's going on there, the initials are AB. Okay, so send us your answers to those, and we might get a prize. We could either go and raid Phil Jupitus' desk. I see you've got some Jack D DVDs there, we could go rifle through there.
I'll tell you what would be really easy to sort out. Maybe like if they've got a favourite song or something.
Favourite song?
And
we could play. Oh yeah, we could play. Alright, we could do a request, but also I'm up for nicking some stuff now. I don't know, my blood's up, Karl. But like, you said, like, we've got a commitment. Once we've like given out a prize, we've got to give it.
All I'm thinking is, right, if we say, oh, we'll get some signed DVDs, right? It's not going to happen for the next week because it's New Year and stuff. We're not going to, right? And then it's just that long wait. And I remember when I was a kid, right? And like I joined the Dennis the Menace fan club,
with the Beano,
filled it out and that, and every day.
Oh, it was an interminable wait, wasn't it? It just went on and on. Within 28 days, I was driven mad. I want me Nasher badge.
And that's what I'm thinking, you know. Rory, who's sending a lot of texts.
Good old Rory, God bless him.
He's good, he's been there every night for us, supporting us, right?
He's been a rock for us, Rory has.
Say if he took part, and his days are going by, and he's getting up every morning, looking out at the postman, going, where's my post, sir? There's nothing.
Like he goes all Dickensian, excuse me, has there been any letters in the mail for me today? That was Coral in the Morning, and before that we had Richard Ashcroft, Break the Night with Colour. This show's been musically very good, hasn't it? Have you enjoyed it so far?
I'm loving it, yeah.
I'd like to have most of these tracks in my head, but not, as we said before, not Chemical Brothers all the time. 5 minutes, that's more than enough. Well, it's not more than enough, it's exactly right. They pitched it perfectly. Got email, or we got, you know, like how we're doing our Rockbusters quiz. Well, we've got some more suggestions from people. This one is from Mellow Simon in Surbiton, right? His clue is, used to be Mr. Winston's muscles, initials X and S, win a Doors DVD. He's going to provide a prize, right? And he'd like to have Bobby Hutcherson's in his head the whole time. Fair enough. But
just give us that clue again a second.
Right. Used to be Mr. Winston's muscles, initials X and S. He's providing his own prize. If you can get that right, win a Doors DVD. Now, we're not culpable for that. If Mellow Simon in Surbiton reneges on that deal and you never see that Doors DVD, we ain't responsible. Do you see what it means? We can do this quiz. We don't have to go and raid Phil Jupitus' desk. We can keep our fingers clean. We don't have to have our dabs all over.
What, so we're just leaving it to them? It's like some sort of Noel Edmonds swap shop thing.
It's like swap shop. We're doing on-air swap shop now. Although I still think that, you know, if people get the ones that we've already put out, like that one from Tommy from Fife, Scottish garage assistant, describes Diesel, says there's no fuel there. right, initials SP, we'll have to provide the prize. If anyone gets that painting smell nice, what's going on there, initials AB, we've got to go on a little Phil Jupiter's desk raid. I feel nervous about having to do that. Or, you know, I could ask Williams and Lucas if they'll find something, but you may have to have a big long Beano 28-day wait. Now, there's another text message. We've got one from Rory, of course, dear old Rory. He's sat safely at home. I'd like to think of him there. Bless him, lovely Dickensian lad. Right, we've got another text message here. Sitting where I do with my team leader, it's actually like having the chicken song in your head all day. That's Russ in Chester. Oh, I wouldn't like to even hear that once. So it would be disconcerting. Oh, and someone wanted to know what apocryphal rhubarb means. Apocryphal means something that's reputedly true, but is unsubstantiated, and necessarily true. Like one of them things, not like an urban myth, like you're always on about, like that woman having spiders laying eggs in her eyes or something like that. But
see,
like,
why can I remember stuff like that, right? And yet you can just reel these words off. Right, without even do you think about it when you're using these big words? No, they're just ingrained in my mind. But like, you know, I'm an only child, did a lot of reading as a boy, because I was all sort of all lonely, weren't I? So I was like that, you know, Beano comics was my only what about like when I've spoke to you sometimes, you start doing Latin and stuff?
Don't start doing Latin!
You did, there was one time when you said something.
Carpe diem. Seize the day. Everyone knows that. I know that from the film Dead Poets Society. What it is, I'm good at collating bits of information that sound impressive. I'm good at doing that. A lot of, like, you know, information, right, like, you know, a lot of information I've got about, like, Wilfred Owen, Siegfried Sassoon, World War I poets, that comes from Blackadder. Do you know what I mean? Sort of, I get little pop cultural tidbits, collate them together in my mind, and then I'm able to send them back out to the world. Carpe diem means seize the day, live the moment.
But why didn't they just say that?
Because that was their language, so then that was saying it.
Yeah, but it was kind of like...
condensed.
Were they always in a rush, them people?
They had a lot going on. They were very busy people, the Latins, Carl.
All sort of crammed in, innit?
They've got to get a lot of information conveyed in a very quick way. As quick a way as possible. In many ways, they're a lot like us. That was The Cure, The Walk. This is BBC Six Music. I'm Russell Brand. I'm here with Karl Pilkington. We're standing in for Nemone while she... I imagine her lavering herself up, not even in a bath, sat on a carpet, just lavering herself up with all manner of vim, probably. Soaping herself down with vim while we're in here toiling.
Why are you thinking that? You mean like some sort of Christmas present?
She's luxuriating, is what I'm suggesting.
There's a lot of soap about, isn't there?
Well, so she wouldn't need to use Vim, particularly not at Christmas.
No, I just was thinking, like, suddenly at Christmas, soap comes in all shapes and sizes, doesn't it?
Why is that?
I don't know, because it all does the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, did you got some from that facial, didn't you?
I got a bit of that, yeah. I went in there and she said, well, it's the problem with all that stuff they give you in that facial place, right? It's all very well, right, if you got nothing else to do with your day. Yeah. But for me, I want to get up and out and have a wash in about 3 minutes. Right. All that stuff they do takes about half an hour. Half hour washing yourself, putting different pastes and gums and powders. It's not just washing yourself once. It was like you wash yourself and then you wash again. It's like, do you know what I mean? If I worked down the mines, I'd say maybe there's some, you know, muck under there. Yeah. But I'm only sat in here. Sat in here, how dirty is your face going to get? Not that dirty. It's not, is it? Particularly as I've curbed most of my habits. Now, what we've got here is a lovely... You know, we're doing these Rockbusters quizzes, right? Tommy from Fife sent in, like, his clue. Scottish garage assistant fella describes diesel or lack of fuel. We amended it a bit. The initials are SP, right? That is contingent upon doing the answer in a certain accent. A Scottish accent, as he specifies, right? Your one was an accent about Kenny Loggins, wasn't it? Scottish. Kenny Loggins. Right, that was like another accent-dependent one. I've got this thing out of the paper today. It's actually the Sun paper, as will become apparent when I tell you that the headline was Accents Job Blow. Right? If you think about it, there's a joke in there. We won't elaborate because we're on the BBC and we've got too good a manners. Accents Job Blow. Job Blow. That's like a Rockbuster. Job Blow. Right? Yeah, it is, but here, you know, this isn't a clue. I'm going to give you the information now. Businessmen and women are prejudiced against regional accents, a survey reveals today. Nearly 80% of those quizzed, they always use things like that in the Sun, don't they? Quizzed. Those quizzed reckoned people with a home counties accent were generally successful, but 64% regarded those with a Liverpool accent as being generally unsuccessful, followed by those with a Birmingham accent or a West Midlands twang.
Now, do you find accents inhibit success? I've got a little bit of an accent, right? I'm from Essex. You've got you've got your Manchester accent there, haven't you?
But it's a bit softer now, because I've been in London for a bit.
Was your parents, when you go back home, do your parents say, "Oh, cry," "Oh, bloody hell, you sound like a right tough son," do they?
They do a little bit, yeah. But then after spending like a day with them, it comes back a bit and what have you.
Yeah, they take.
But what are they saying about? Do they say anything about Manchester voices?
They don't. Manchester is not. I mean, I think if we got the survey in full, you'd find that all northern accents were probably prejudiced against. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it used to be. But there are certain situations where an accent will be disconcerting, right? Sort of. Do you think? I mean, I
know what you mean. Like, probably. If you're on a plane.
Right, you're on an aeroplane and the captain...
the pilot comes on and he's like, "Right, sit down, will you? I'm going to take off in a minute." Alright, take off, sit down, behave yourself. Yeah, you'd worry. Because, I mean, it's a bit wrong, right? But I got on a little flight and she had a nice voice, but a woman's voice.
And that made you worried?
I don't know why. Because she's probably really good.
She's got to be qualified as a pilot. They can't just go, "Hello, she's a cracking-looking woman. Sit her in the cockpit."
But really strange how suddenly I was like, oh put your seatbelt on, keep it on.
Because you're a bit sexist.
It's not that, though.
How'd you have responded if "Ooh, chucks away, we're going to take to the skies now, gentlemen"? That was the Strokes there. Right, now, on this accent thing, like, Carl, you wouldn't like to have, an overly effeminate or camp man, nothing to do with sexuality, because I'm quite camp and I'm heterosexual. You wouldn't like an overly camp man in a cockpit. Oh, don't mind if I do. Or a woman pilot. What other accents wouldn't you like to hear in certain jobs?
What about, doctors?
Doctors?
Yeah.
Well, like, if you went to see a doctor, you went, "Oh, crikey, you got terrible gallstones, I must say."
But here's another one with that, though, right? Forget voices and that, right?
Yeah.
Say if you haven't had to have a proper operation, have you?
No, I've not. I'm fit as a fiddle, have you?
No, I wouldn't do it.
Well, you wouldn't have an operation.
What if you had freaks me out a bit.
What if you had a dicky pancreas?
I thought I had one of them yesterday, but it was just too many tangerines.
That's all it was. Thank heavens for that. Dodgy pancreas. Oh no, I've just eaten 6 tangerines.
But
what's that thing that you reckon 6 bananas will kill you? Isn't that stupid?
It's 6 or 7.
There's no. I don't think there's any number of bananas that can kill you.
No, you can't. It's like loads of, like, if you have
potassium.
It's got to be in a row, not just like, oh, I'll have one later, and you've got to
straight off. You unwrap all 7 bananas, unpeel them, neck the lot, you'll die.
It can kill you.
I don't believe that for a second. That's one of those things that Carl's just heard and believed, send a text message to either validate that or to disprove it. Like he was saying, people that have fits can get living dog hat helmets to wrap around their skulls to protect them. He was claiming just yesterday on this very radio station.
Well, listen, here's another little point, right? We've said about, like, a doctor having like a Scouse accent or a ranking sort of Manchester or whatever. What about, right, you go in hospital.
Yeah.
It's something pretty serious. You got to have a new kidney.
Right, a new kidney.
Yeah, they're pretty vital, aren't they?
They're vital.
The nurse is there. She's going, "Right, Mr. Brand, everything's going to be alright. I'll just stroke your brow. Don't worry, don't sweat and that. The doctor will be in a minute."
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're lying down on your bed. Doctor comes in.
Yeah.
Right? He's about 12 years old.
12.
He can talk the talk.
Right, he's got all the lyrics.
He's doing all that, and he's going, "Yes, oh, I liked you on, Big Brother's Big Mouth and that. That's one of my favourite programmes."
I'd worry if he brought that up.
He's really posh and everything, and he sounds really... Would you make a point of it? Would you go, "Aren't you a bit young?"
I would. I very much would. I'd say, "Look, I don't think you've had the experience of life. You seem very, very young to me to be tampering with my inside, and I don't know if I want you to see me in my pants."
And he says, "Look, either you let me do it, or you don't have it done, and you're going to get ill."
I go booper. I go private rather than... And also, if he's a doctor, they have to take an oath, Carl, not to unsettle you. If he starts saying things like that to me... Alright, what if you're having an operation done, probably it's brain surgery, people have finally grown sick and tired of your behaviour, the physician comes in, right? He's got one robot arm, and one eye a bit like the Terminator, and he talks in a... "Well, Mr. Pilkington, I will be able to conduct this operation, but you must behave with absolute candour." Oh, that means
I wouldn't put myself in that situation. Because I don't like going to the doctors and that.
Yeah, but you've got this brain disease.
You say about this oath, right? When I was
Hippocratic oath.
When I was a kid, right, maybe this is what put me off doctors.
Go on.
I used to not nick, because we were thrown out, but take a lot of cakes from round the back of this cake shop.
Yeah.
They used to chuck them out at night. Right. And they weren't off, it's just that they've got to be extra cautious, haven't they, these days?
They can't take risks with cakes, Carl.
Right.
You know, that's what did for Janis Joplin. Destroyed her.
So I used to go jump over the wall, get like cream donuts.
Yeah.
They were all there, Congress tarts, all the stuff, you know, brilliant, top quality stuff.
Yeah.
But I think I ate about 4 of these cream donuts.
Yeah.
I think the cream was off. Doctor came round, right, I'm there in bed, absolute agony, right? And he says to me, Mum, can't do anything, it's too late, he's going to die.
Really?
Right, my mum's panicking.
Naturally.
My dad comes in and my mum's like...
We can't do anything, he's going to die.
Yeah, that's what he said. But apparently, like, my dad said, what are you on about? What do you mean he's going to die? He pops up and sees me, he's like, oh, calls the doctor up and says, what's all this? Like, Carl's going to die. And,
what's all this?
And like he said, no, I was only joking, he's just got, you know, stomach cramps from the bad cream. But that's what I'm saying, what are these oaths that doctors have when you've got people cracking jokes like that?
They shouldn't be, that's against the oaths.
What, just saying stuff
like... He shouldn't be able to make a joke like, oh, Carl's going to die in an offhanded way. Lord knows it would have saved us all a lot of trouble. I want all you skinhead to get up. That's Alive by Pearl Jam. Before that we had Arctic Monkeys. Before that we had Skinhead Moonstomp. Crikey, what an evening we're all having. Are you enjoying yourself, Carl?
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? We're having a lovely time. This is we've only got 1 more hour, then we don't do this radio show anymore. It goes back to Nemone. But we've looked after it, innit? It's not like I once had to look after the school rabbit when I was a kid. It got out, it scratched it. Horrible, evil little rabbit it was. Thumper it was called, just I suppose because of Bambi. It got out, it was horrible little thing. I think I might have psychologically scarred it. You know, while I used to just stare at it through the you know, through the railings, not railings, sort of like mesh. Stared at it through the mesh. Anyway, we've got some text messages we've got to clear up. Someone asking, can you have an apocryphal hash brown if you can have apocryphal rhubarb? Yeah, because it's an untrue story from the past, or, you know, or untrue things, so you can have an apocryphal, whatever you like, but, you know, we're really toying with language here. We've got, look, we've got an answer for, you know, for the question set by, the fella in Fife, because I've not got the guy's name who says it in front of me anymore, but it's Donna. She says, hello Russell and Carl, are the answers to, well, let's have a look at the question. It was, it's Tommy from Fife. Scottish garage assistant fella describes diesel and lack of fuel. That's set by Tommy in Fife. The answer, correctly guessed by Donna, is snow patrol. Snow petrol. Snow patrol. Snow petrol, right?
That works.
That's right. It's a good one, isn't it? And also it's quite like the ones that you set. And, the other one is art brute. That is correct. The clue then was, of course, that painting smells nice. What's going on there? Art brute. They've used your language. So that's really good. We've got this one here from Callum, who's texted us before. He says, that Scottish man describing diesel is hard, and I'm a Scottish man that works in a petrol station. He's capitalised that, so I believe him. You'll have to tell me. Well, we've told you now, that was the correct answer. Steve in Brighton would like to hear Joe Strummer singing White Man in Hammersmith Palais forever. That's what he would like to have that in. But forever?
I know. It's a long time, isn't it?
Forever is a long time, Carl. We may not even live that long. That's what I'm beginning to think. We've got some more, some people have set us some, right, this person here, who is it? That's Nigel Webb from Kendal, Cumbria, who sent an email. Here are my Rockbuster clues written in the Karl Pilkington vernacular. Right, you've got your own... all
these big words that are just being thrown about willy-nilly.
Vernacular means manner of speaking, right? So, listen, this one. Clue number 1. Well, he's sent in 6, so I'll just do 2 of them,
go
right?
Go on.
And it's in the Karl Pilkington vernacular. Some fellas are buying drugs, right? And, they choose ecstasy, right? And that. What's going on there? What's that all about? And the initials are TP. Some fellas are buying drugs, they choose ecstasy and that. What's going on there? What's that all about? Like, the initials are TP, right? And
got it.
Yeah, have you got that one?
Yeah, got it.
Have ya?
Yeah.
right? But like, don't,
we're leaving it
don't say it, 'cause we'll leave it for them.
Yeah.
Right, and also, if you send it in your text whether or not you really want us to nick something off Phil Jupitus' desk, or try and get something off the Little Britain Boys, or Carl to get something off Ricky Gervais, it's gonna be a lot of pressure on us, but if you really want a present, we will do it. It's good for us to have responsibilities, I think, Carl. Another one, this is an easy one, I would actually get this one. This is set by Nigel Webb, Kendall Cubria. A book in the toilet. A book in the toilet. The initials are LR, you should be able to get that. And another one from him, because this is quite a good one. Trevor from Going Lives, mate. Right, okay, right. And Wayne's from Wayne's World Mate's father's brother. Right, so that's it. That's it in Carl's voice. In my voice, it would simply be Trevor from Going Lives, mate, and Wayne from Wayne's World's mate's father, brother, and the initials are SAG. Send us your answers. Also, including your answers, do you want us to nick a prize off Phil Jupiter's desk, or like try and get one of Carl's showbiz associates or one of my show business associates to give us a prize? Or, you know, I mean, I know a woman that's a vet, and she could perhaps get you some of those. Some ketamine or something. I don't recommend that. It's terrible. I took it once in my dark, bleak past. Terrible. I think that everyone should just drink green tea like I'm doing now. Now, what are you saying, Carl?
I was just going to say, we've got a caller on.
We've got a caller on.
Do you reckon it's alright if we just pop a little song on?
Let's play a track and then we'll talk to our caller who wants to talk to us about accents. What track are we going to play, Carl?
Bit of Van Morrison.
Bit of Van Morrison. Let's listen to that. Okay, or it could be a supermarket delivery chain's mode of transport. Van Morrison with Stow Me. I could have that in my mind perpetually, I think. I mean, like, you've got to really like something to have it constantly playing in your mind. We've been playing Rockbusters, that's Carl's quiz show, we've been playing that all night. That, you know, who knows, there might be someone joining in late, they might not have heard earlier Melee, Carl, so they might not know.
There's a chance of that, yeah.
There's a chance that not everyone has gone, oh hello, 10 o'clock. Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington looking after the Nemone show. Stop the world! No, for heaven's sake, careful! You're gonna bump into your dialysis machine. I don't care about that. I can get another kidney. I just must hear Russell and Karl on BBC Six Music. So the Rockbusters is Karl gives out a cryptic clue, then and you can work out. And I'll give you an example of one, right? A book in the toilet. The initials are LR. Well, Karl, can you work out what that would be? You're the inventor of this.
That's easy. That's Lou Reed, isn't it?
Lou Reed, okay. So that's we've given out a few others, like for example, Trevor from Going Lives, mate, and Wayne from Wayne's World Mate's father's brother, right? And the initials are SAG. What could that be? What could that be? Give us send us in a text or an email. It's text message 640406. Remember though, do specify if you want a prize, because if you really want a prize, it means we've got to go and nick stuff off Phil Jupitus' desk, or sort of bother our associates for prizes. We've got a caller on the line now. We've been talking about accents a lot, and problems in the accents can give you, like Carl said, he wouldn't want a doctor with a Manchester accent, which he's allowed to say because he himself is from Manchester. I wouldn't like to have, I don't know, a gynaecologist with any accent really, because I just don't have the right
chat. You shouldn't be chatting to them anyway, should you? Just let them get on with it and go home.
You just do your job, mush, and then clear off, be about your business. Yeah. We've got Gareth Cutts on the line who wants to make a point regarding this matter. Hello, Gareth, are you there?
Hello, mate, yeah.
What do you want to... I can hear straight away, you've got an accent, have you?
Well, I don't think I have, right, because my wife, Dawn, she reckon I sound like Roger Moore. Right. But,
yeah.
That's difficult, isn't it? Because when you speak in your... Actually, can I just ask, because can I listen to this while I'm speaking? Can we sort of listen to it while I'm speaking?
What, listen to your own accent while you're speaking?
Exactly, like, so as I'm speaking, I'm listening to the radio, to the digital radio.
You can't do that, Gareth. No, you're gonna have to just listen to your voice inside your own mind, because the radio is being broadcast simultaneously to you speaking. We've not got the technology to do that, I'm afraid, Gareth. No. What you could do is just remember what you said a bit later on and just play it through your mind and then see what it sounds like.
Alright then, what did I say?
You just said, my wife thinks I sound like Roger Moore, which to me seems, I mean, your wife Dawn thinks you sound like Bond hero Roger Moore, but Roger Moore's got a very standardised accent, Gareth.
Well, that's what I reckon I've got.
Yeah, no.
It's just a standardised accent here.
No, I don't...
know what I mean? To me that just sounds like standardised.
No, it's not. So I'm guessing that you're probably from Norfolk, are you?
I'm from Suffolk, actually.
Suffolk, right?
But I do take... You've probably got an ear for it.
Right, yeah.
I remember sometimes in the radio show, you go in and out with accents and that, didn't you?
Right, yeah, I do occasionally use...
You've got, like, a background in acting and that.
Right, yeah.
You probably can pick up on it.
That,
you know, you can go, ooh, he's from there and she's from there.
Right, although I was...
Some people think that I'm from, some people say, oh, he's from Bristol, he's from Newcastle.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that, you have to have a bit of an ear for it to go, yeah, he's from Suffolk.
But you're actually from Suffolk. Has it caused you any difficulties, this accent that your wife Dawn would claim that you do not have?
Not really, no, because, I actually hadn't tried to, go for a Bond film.
Right, yeah. I don't think,
yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying my luck.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't see you ever playing that Ian Fleming here.
James Bond.
Go on, say again?
My name's Bond, James Bond.
Right, no, well, Carl, what did you think of it?
I'd sort of trust him a bit more than the real one.
Yeah.
I'd sort of go...
My name's Bond, James Bond. Do you want your gardening done?
Right, yeah.
Something like that, do you know what I mean? I'm probably not going to be all fanciful than that.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say the word from Russians, but I can help you geraniums.
There's less espionage, a bit more horticulture and gardening.
Yeah, a bit more botany.
Bit more botany. Yeah,
I'm James Botany.
I've got it, right? And you could do Dr. Ho.
Dr. Ho. Instead of Dr. No.
That's riffing, innit? We're riffing now.
But I think that's beautiful the way everything's come together. Have you been listening to our Carl's Rockbusters quiz?
Yeah, I didn't really get it, to be honest with you, because that Lou Reed one.
Yeah.
What do Lou Reed, is he famous for going to the toilet? I mean, I didn't quite get it.
It's just simply that Lou Reed, right, the clue was a book in the toilet, right? And then the answer is...
What, he read books in the toilets?
No, right, he doesn't leave books in the toilet, Gareth. What it is the clue is a book in the toilet, Lou Reed. No, the book's not by Lou Reed.
Do you know what? I don't think he'd be a good James Bond, you know.
No, I don't think so. Because I think, like, you know, once, you know, like, Goldfinger, I think, would say that this, I'm gonna just gun you down. I think it was, Gareth, thank you very much for your call and for your contribution, and, I think one day, perhaps, you know, you will be on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Where's that?
That was Dandy Warhols. Every day should be a holiday. You're listening to Six Music with Karl Pilkington and Russell Brand. Oh, I just accidentally put your name first, just because I was looking over at your face, Karl. I hope you're not going to get all egotistical about that, are you? I'm
not, but I just was thinking then, like, every day should be a holiday, right?
Yeah.
That would do your head in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, because you wouldn't appreciate the holiday, would you? It'd all just be a holiday. You know, it's like, New York Dolls 7-day weekend. Well, how do you distinguish it? It's just a big blur. I mean, maybe if you're in the New York Dolls, you can live like that. Yeah. But a 7-day weekend, every day should be a holiday from the dandies.
But does that mean that you'd be on a plane a lot of that time?
At least, I suppose, 10% of it you're travelling there or travelling back to the holiday.
Too much hassle.
Then a lot of time booking up the hotel, administrating it. No, well, I guess what they're saying is that the whole thing is the holiday. You're cutting out the journey time, you're cutting out all the rhubarb. That's what they're suggesting. Anyway, we've got some text messages here. The first one is from Smithy, right? The hardest working postie in the country. I used to be a postman, and I would query that, because well, actually, I was a rubbish postman. I was doing it as scab labour over Christmas, right? I did it for like sort of 4 weeks. I didn't know about like union politics and solidarity. I was just young. I was just 16. This job came up, be a postie for 4 weeks. I stole CDs. I'm ashamed to admit, right? And like I admitted to it in an article that I wrote. And I got a letter from like the police. Got the TV channel that I was working at. Got a letter from the police saying he's made this admission, these stolen letters while a postman. We've had a letter from someone who lived in that area, and they would like to follow it up. Very lucky that that letter didn't get stolen. What? Thankfully, the normal posties were back by then.
What CD was it that he didn't?
I nicked Frank Sinatra. It wasn't the same person. It wasn't his CD. I nicked this Frank Sinatra CD. That's the one I remember nicking. But the person that's like was aggrieved that that's not like I nicked their CD. It was just a coincidence. He just said I had letters nicked. And so therefore, this person saying they used to be a postie. Also, when I was delivering the letters, I was delivering a letter down the street and there was a park there, there was like some people playing football, so I stopped to watch it. Yeah. It turned out it was the striking posties playing football, and they went, "Oi, scab! Get back and deliver your letters, you scab!" Well, I thought, oh no, this is a harsh introduction into the world of unionisation.
You see, it's not that bad. It was only a Frank Sinatra CD. It's like, calm down, we'll get you another one. Yeah. But say if you moved on from Postman to one of those couriers who deliver lungs and that.
Yeah.
That's where it would be a problem if you're going, oh, I think I'll have that.
That's a nice looking spleen. I don't mind if I do. I'll pop that in my waistcoat. Right, so anyway, Smithy, the hardest working postman who would never nick a spleen or, you know, anything, he says, right now, the clue was, it was a cryptic clue sent in by Nigel Webb from Kendal from Cumbria. Alright, it's, Trevor from Going Lives, mate, and Wayne from Wayne's World's mate's father's brother. Right, the initials SAG. He says, is that Simon and Garfunkel? Smithy, you are right, it is Simon and Garfunkel. Trevor from Going Live's mate and Wayne from Wayne's World's mate's father's brother. That is, of course, Simon and Garf Uncle. Simon and Garf Uncle. Well, that's a good clue, good answer. Now, are we going to make Nigel Webb Kendal Cumbria responsible for giving a prize to Smithy the postie? No, actually we don't have to, because he says he would like some live Gary Newman. We ain't got any live Gary Newman, but we have got this for you.
Well, that we're just playing Kaiser Chiefs first.
Oh, we're playing Kaiser Chiefs first, we're going to play
we'll give him Gary Newman.
Alright, you can have that. With Satiate, Smithy, you know, if you're working hard as a postie, you know, he's obviously a patient and decent man. Also, look, there's another text message here, also getting it right. It's from our mate Callum in Scotland. Simon and Garfunkel to that Rockbuster question. You can send me something if you want. I'm willing to wait. Now, he does want a prize, but he's willing to wait. So we'll have to ask Steph, our producer, do we go and do... We've got this Pink Floyd book, actually. Right, we can still knock that out. Or we could go and raid Phil Jupitus's desk. And I'm not doing this on my own. You're not, mate. You robbed them cakes when you were a nipper, stuffing yourself with cream cakes. You deserved that seizure. That was Gary Newman. Card before that we had Kaiser Chiefs. Yeah, here we are. 6 Music. Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington coming to the end of looking after the chaos that Nemone has left in this studio. I'll miss this job. Will you, Karl?
Yeah, I miss our little chats and that. Yeah.
You hesitated there, like as if you won't miss it.
Well, it's just like I say. It's like having too many holidays, isn't it? If you do something a lot.
Right, then you don't appreciate it.
I was reading about this fella in the paper, right? He was going on with it coming up to a new year and that. Yeah. He's one of those motivational type blokes.
He's trying to motivate people, is he?
He's saying it's a new year, right? Do stuff you like doing, and you'll be happy in that. Yeah. But he was saying make sure you do more of what you like.
Make sure you
do more of what you like.
In your case, what would that be?
Don't know really. I haven't got anything that
you don't have nothing. I don't know how you keep yourself alive. I don't know how you motivate yourself to get out of bed in the morning. I like learning stuff,
don't I? I like it when you tell me stuff that I go, oh, that's amazing, that, and then I'll go off and think about it.
Alright, well, let's clear up. We'll have some vital information before the end of this very link. But let's clear up some of these Rockbusters. Right, so there's still, there's some out there that have not been answered yet. Some fellas are buying, remember, we give a cryptic clue and the initials of a band or artist, and you have to guess. Some fellas are buying drugs. They choose ecstasy and that, because this is in your accent, this has been written. What's going on there? What's that all about? Some fellas are buying drugs. They choose ecstasy and that. What's going on there? Right, we need to, if no one guesses before the next link, you think you know it, don't you, Karl?
Yeah, I've got that one, yeah.
Right, you know that one, definitely. We'll have that, and that means that Nigel Webb from Kendal Cumbria will owe us a prize. Then there's this one, I don't know neither of us know the answer to this. Right, this is from Mellow Simon in Surbiton. Used to be Mr. Winston's muscles, initials X and S. Win a Doors DVD. So Mellow Simon in Surbiton is going to give a prize, but I reckon he might be toying with us. Simon, would you please send us that answer so that we know it, because the curiosity is destroying my relationship with Karl. Also, there's another clue here. This is from Ali in Glasgow. If your sister asks where your league team was playing that week, you would say this half the time. Unless it was a neutral ground, begins with O. So let me read that again, that's mind-bending. If your sister asked where your league team was playing that week, you would say this half the time, unless it was a neutral ground, begins with O. That's from Ali in Glasgow. Alright, so mull them over. We'll either nick some prizes off Phil Duplessis' desk, and we'd leave a note. I mean, I'm not going to just steal it outright. We'd say, Phil, do apologise, how's the show going? Say something nice, you know, it's like if you send a text message and you want something, always at the beginning, hope you're well, can you please lend me £100, or will you please, for heaven's sake, come round my house now, I'm so lonely, so very, very lonely.
Just finish it off with Nemone as well.
Yeah, nice, yeah, and Nemone, essentially we are Nemone's, we're looking after Nemone's rhubarb and her mess. She should take the flak, shouldn't she? We've got, an email from Chris Creswell. He says he's really enjoyed our shows. That's really very nice of you. Thank you. He'd like to listen to our mumbo jumbo ramblings. I can only assume that your part of the conversation was the mumbo jumbo bit, whereas mine was well articulated, thoroughly thought through information. He's got a question for us though. What do you think of David Icke? Well, right, I quite like David Icke, you know, because I think he's been a brave man. Firstly, he was like a Coventry goalkeeper, wasn't he? Then he became a pundit. Then he quite casually announced he was the Son of God out of nowhere, and went on to Wogan. I remember him saying, yeah, I'm the Son of God, wear lilac, it brings about good energy. And he says a lot of things, Carl, because I know you're a cynical man in many respects. He says a lot of things that make a lot of sense, right? He's always saying, right, be careful, because there's a great big global conspiracy by consumer conglomerates, be very careful of that. They are broadcasting things on the airwaves that poison your mind. Not this show, it's very positive, but you know, like... Huh?
Rockbusters,
that could be that very thing. Well, and it's all come to fruition. No, he's saying that there's signals being put out in the air that pollute our thinking. They're putting things in the water, you've got to be careful. The Freemasons, there's all these Illuminati and conspiratorial elite groups that are controlling society. And I think, yeah, that's probably true. Oh, putting things in the water. Well, that's probably true. That's probably true. Then he goes... the Queen's a lizard, royal family's lizards, Chris Christopherson's a lizard. He keeps announcing that people are lizards that change form. It really undermines all these other theories that are quite good. Like, I'm up for conspiracies and stuff like that, but I don't think that all them people are lizards. And it's the same as there's Rail, right? The Raelian movement. The Raelian movement believe that all religious scriptures, like, you know, the Talmud, the Bible, whatever, are just ancient cultures describing an advanced technology. For example, Rael said that the Nativity, the story of the three wise men who were, after all, astronomers discovering the birthplace of Christ by following a star, he says that's a UFO that they were following, and the Immaculate Conception, that is just artificial insemination. It's just people that didn't have technology trying to describe it, and it all sounds miraculous, right? So I'm up for that. These things are okay, alright, we've got to be open-minded about that. What do you think, Carl, so far?
I'm liking it, right? Let me just bung a song on, bit of Mull Historical Society, right? Yeah. And I'll tell you what I think.
Then we're going to have some announcements, right? We've set that up, we're going to talk about extraterrestrials and gods, but first a bit of music.
It's alright, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed the Mull Historical Society.
Now, listen then, right? Yeah. You were talking about, aliens and that.
Yeah, because it was prompted by a question from Krez, who wanted to know about David Icke, and I've started talking about Rail and the Raelians. What do you need to know,
Carl? Who's this Rail again?
Rail is a French man. He used to be a motor racing driver. He's still alive now. He said that aliens came down, met him, and they said to him, look, the Bible, the Quran, all those books, what they're actually describing, when they talk about angels and heavenly bodies, they're actually talking about flying saucers and aliens. Now, we are those aliens. Hello, we're here. What we want you to do is carry on the good work of Buddha, Muhammad, Christ, all of those fellas, Icke, and get out there and spread the word.
Would it be a bad thing though if it was true? Right?
I think it'd be great.
Well, why? Because they're always saying, aren't they, in the news and that. You know, they've got this big warehouse in America.
Yeah, for a Hangar 51 or 54 or whatever it is.
They've got loads of hangars. I think there's like 51 to 55, just full of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Aliens and that. They've got that Boswell thing sat on the desk.
Boswell, not Boswell. That's Carla Lane's bread family. Oh, Joey Boswell. There's no mystery there in the Boswell family. They've just got to get up and got to get out, grab the world by the throat and shout.
Well, they've got the little bald-headed alien. Yeah. Right, and stuff.
Glass houses.
Why is that a problem?
Well, because, I'll tell you why it's a problem, because if there were extraterrestrials, and extraterrestrials were in contact with us, and if indeed, as Rail and other writers like Eric von Danken have suggested, extraterrestrials have somehow been involved with the creation and evolution of mankind, it completely undermines the hierarchy and religious structure and civilization of this planet.
Why?
Because you wouldn't, like, if you're sort of thinking, like, you know, oh, I better go to work today 'cause the government says so, if you suddenly knew, hold on a minute, life on this planet was not created by an ethereal god, an intangible god, but by extraterrestrial life forms, and, like, you know, but nonetheless they still preach spirituality, non-materialism, abolition of capitalism and consumerism. It's something, yeah, 'cause, like, you know, all religions, you know, like, I mean, I'm no religious scholar, but they all are saying, just be nice to each other, be a bit more spiritual, don't get all bogged down.
Nobody listens to all that, though, do they?
Well, yes, they do, Carl. There are wars all over the world because people vying over the details.
But what I mean is, right, religion and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into it.
Yeah, I know, but you wouldn't even, just 'cause some Buddhist give you a dodgy plum, you've denounced an entire theology.
Yeah, but I haven't found one yet that's any good. I've been offered a plum, and in that science one, they've offered me a neck rub.
What, from the Scientologist?
Yeah, he said, pop in, you look a bit stressed, have a neck rub. It doesn't get me in. It's not it's not the best free gift, is what I'm saying.
Right. What do you want, a carriage clock or something? From the Catholics?
But what I'm saying is, right, there's a lot of problems in the world.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
There's loads of it, isn't there?
Oh, I just had a problem on the way in.
But say, like, if an alien was in charge.
Yeah.
They've got, like, loads of special powers and stuff.
Special powers,
laser guns,
they can bend time, ray guns, yeah, they've got it all.
People aren't scared of the police anymore.
Well, I am.
Are you?
Well, yeah. They've got some authority.
Leave it then.
No, listen, no, go on. Listen, I think it would be good if extraterrestrials came down, Carl. I think it would be great. My point is this. That it would undermine the entire hierarchical structure of the planet, because you think, alright, these civilized ideologies that we've been pursuing, you know, sort of, capitalism, communism, anything, right, is not as powerful as, like, well, you know, we all live in an infinite universe and we can achieve spiritual unity through our minds. You'd think, oh, blimey hell, that's an interesting thing to have access to. That's why they're all locked up in some hangar, because it undermines, like, the sort of primitive ideologies that we live our lives by.
So do you think that little bald-headed one in that hangar, he's going to be in there forever and we're never going to find out?
They're not letting him out. He's too much of a troublemaker.
Really?
Yeah, but fortunately, I know a fella with a nice little bald head who could pose as him. All you need is a few spiritual secrets. A song for Europe, Roxy Music. You're listening to Six Music with Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington. We've been doing Rockbusters most of the night, cryptic clues and initials of an artist or group. Then you get the answer, you know, if you can. Now, this was one clue from earlier. Where's the clue? Because someone's got the... Oh, yeah. If your sister asked you where your league team was playing that week, you would say this half the time. That was posed by Ali from Glasgow. We've got the answer. It's from Russ in Chester. He says that football rockbuster is Oasis. Oasis. Give up something in it. So he wants a prize. Russ is very clear that he wants a prize. You didn't get that one, did you? The Oasis one?
Didn't get it.
You have set up this quiz, right? You are like the master. You are like Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi, the master of it. And now the pupils, the listeners, have turned on you.
Yeah.
They've got better than you. And it's good that, because Mr. Miyagi did die this year. It was overshadowed by George Best's death. So let's dedicate the whole rest of the show to Mr. Miyagi.
But that is what happens, isn't it, with stuff. It grows, doesn't it, and gets out of your hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like, oh, I've created a monster. With Einstein did the same, didn't he? That's how I treat Rockbusters. That is my E equals MC squared.
Right.
I've passed it on.
Yeah.
Do what you will with it.
I just hope people don't use your Rockbusters for evil, Carl.
Yeah, well,
I hope they don't use it to dominate the planet the way that Einstein's brilliant inventions were turned into nuclear bombs. Right, so, okay, so, Russ, Russ from Chester, we've got to send him a prize. Right, you'll get something, we'll nick something off Jupiter's desk. God bless him. And Callum from, Scotland, he wants something. He got something right, didn't he? I can't remember which one he got, but you're definitely getting a prize as well, Callum. We've got your address. So you're doing... Why are you shaking your head, Carl?
It's just all about stuff these days, isn't it? That's all they want, isn't it?
They don't. People have been joining in and contributing. I think you're just bitter because your Rockbuster
No, but I don't want to go letting
wrestled.
them down. I'm just worrying about people sat waiting for the postman, you know.
Carl, we're not going to let him down. Like, you know, the minute this show ends, in like 5 minutes time, we're marching with our trousers and pants down over Phil Jupiter's desks, dragging our bums along the carpet like our dogs do when they've got an itch on their bottoms, and then we're going to get some DVDs and that's prizes. It's not a problem, is it? It's for the good of sex music. It's for the good of music in general. It's for the love of humanity. Now, that's that all cleared up. Now, look at this one. Simon from Surbiton sent the answer to his earlier clue, which was brilliant and baffling. Used to be Mr. Winston's muscles, right? That's X-ray specs. That's profound, isn't it?
Brilliant. Again.
You could never have thought of anything like that. So anyway, this is it. This is the end of the show for us. So I think all that remains is to thank Roy from Liverpool. Sorry we never got round to playing Frosty the Snowman. It just isn't on our computer. There's nothing we could do about it. Rory has been an absolute stalwart, and he's always been there for us throughout all this. I don't know what we'd have done. Rory, I've got your phone number now.
Give me a call tomorrow night between 10 and 1.
I'll just tell him my thoughts. Will you be available to do it?
I'll be around if you want, just to sort of dial him up, because that's what my job is, just pressing the buttons and that. So.
I think you've done a lot more than press people's buttons, Karl Pilkington. Your nimble fingers have been caressing and moving the body's in erogenous zones, albeit the ones that are inside ear holes of listeners, up and down the length and breadth of this great nation of ours. So, okay, so, you know, it's been lovely filling in from Nemone. I've really enjoyed it. If there are extraterrestrial gods and they're listening to this show, you know, we were early supporters and expounded your ideas, so perhaps if there is an extraterrestrial revolution, Karl and I should be made emperors of Europe, perhaps. That might be a nice idea. We can leave you with that thought. Have you enjoyed it, Karl?
Yeah, it's been alright, yeah.
Well, you know, thank you for listening. If you were listening, if you weren't listening, you won't hear us say how wicked we thought we've been throughout all of it. And, yeah, well, ta-da for now. What are we going to play out on, Karl?
Just a bit of small faces.
We're going to play out on the faces?
Yeah, stay with me. It's alright now.
What a beautiful journey it's been. Goodbye, everyone. Good night. Ta-ta.
See you later.
See yous.
Yeah.
Bye now. A book in the toilet. A book in the toilet. The initials are LR. You should be able to get that. And, another one from him, because this is quite a good one. Trevor from Going Lives, mate, right, okay, right. And Wayne's from Wayne's World Mate's father's brother, right. So that's it. That's it in Karl's voice. In my voice, it would simply be Trevor from Going Lives, mate, and Wayne from Wayne's World's Mate's father, brother, and the initials are SAG. Send us your answers. Also, including your answers, do you want us to nick a prize off Phil Jupiter's desk, or like try and get one of Karl's showbiz associates or one of my show business associates to give us a prize? Or, you know, I know a woman that's a vet, and she could perhaps get you some ketamine or something. I don't recommend that. It's terrible. I took it once in my dark, bleak past. Terrible. I think everyone should just drink green tea like I'm doing now. Now, what are you saying, Karl?
I was just going to say, we've got a caller on.
We've got a caller on.
Do you reckon it's alright if we just pop a little song on?
Let's play a track and then we'll talk to our caller who wants to talk to us about accents. What track are we going to play, Karl?
Bit of Van Morrison.
Bit of Van Morrison. Let's listen to that. Okay, or it could be a supermarket delivery chain's mode of transport. Van Morrison with Stow Me. I could have that in my mind perpetually, I think. I mean, like, you've got to really like something to have it constantly playing in your mind. We've been playing Rockbusters, that's Karl's quiz show, we've been playing that all night. That, you know, who knows, there might be someone joining in late, they might not have heard earlier Melee, Karl, so they might not know.
There's a chance of that, yeah.
There's a chance that not everyone has gone, oh hello, 10 o'clock. Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington looking after Nemone show. Stop the world! No, for heaven's sake, careful! You're gonna bump into your dialysis machine. I don't care about that. I can get another kidney. I just must hear Russell and Karl on BBC Six Music. So the Rockbusters is Karl gives out a cryptic clue, then and you can work out. And I'll give you an example of one, right? A book in the toilet. The initials are LR. Well, Karl, can you work out what that would be? You're the inventor of this.
That's easy. That's Lou Reed, isn't it?
Lou Reed, okay. So that's we've given out a few others, like for example, Trevor from Going Lives, mate, and Wayne from Wayne's World Mate's father's brother, right? And the initials are SAG. What could that be? What could that be? Give us send us in a text or an email. It's text message 640406. Remember though, do specify if you want a prize, because if you really want a prize, it means we've got to go and nick stuff off Phil Jupiter's desk, or sort of bother our associates for prizes. We've got a caller on the line now. We've been talking about accents a lot, and problems in the accents can give you, like Carl said, he wouldn't want a doctor with a Manchester accent, which he's allowed to say because he himself is from Manchester. I wouldn't like to have, I don't know, a gynaecologist with any accent really, because I just don't have
the right chat. You shouldn't be chatting to them anyway, should you? Just let them get on with it and go home.
You just do your job, mush, and then clear off, be about your business. Yeah. We've got Gareth Cutts on the line who wants to make a point regarding this matter. Hello, Gareth, are you there?
Alright, mate, yeah.
What do you want to... I can hear straight away, you've got an accent, have you?
Well, I don't think I have, right, because my wife, Dawn, she reckon I sound like Roger Moore.
Right.
But, yeah. That's difficult, isn't it? Because when you speak in your... Actually, can I just ask, because can I listen to this while I'm speaking? Can we sort of listen to it while I'm speaking?
What, speak to your... listen to your own accent while you're speaking?
Exactly, like, so as I'm speaking, I'm listening to the radio, to the digital radio.
You can't do that, Gareth. No, you're gonna have to just listen to your voice inside your own mind, because the radio is being broadcast simultaneously to you speaking. We've not got the technology to do that, I'm afraid, Gareth. No. What you could do is just remember what you said a bit later on and just play it through your mind and then see what it sounds like.
Alright then, what did I say?
You just said, my wife thinks I sound like Roger Moore, which to me seems, I mean, your wife Dawn thinks you sound like Bond hero Roger Moore, but Roger Moore's got a very standardised accent, Gareth.
Well, that's what I reckon I've got.
Yeah, no.
Just a standardised accent here.
No, I don't...
You know what I mean? To me that just sounds like standardised.
Oh, no, it's not. So I'm guessing that you're probably from Norfolk, are you?
I'm from Suffolk, actually.
Suffolk, right,
but you've probably got an ear for it.
Right, yeah.
I remember sometimes in the radio show, you go in and out with accents and that, didn't you?
Right, yeah, I do occasionally use...
You've got, like, a background in acting and that.
Right, I have, yeah.
You probably can pick up on it.
Right,
you know, you can go, ooh, he's from there and she's from there.
Right, although I was...
Some people think that I'm from, some people say, oh, he's from Bristol, he's from Newcastle.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that, you have to have a bit of an ear for it to go, yeah, he's from Suffolk.
But you're actually from Suffolk. Has it caused you any difficulties, this accent that your wife Dawn would claim that you do not have?
Not really, no, because, I actually hadn't tried to, go for a Bond film.
Right, yeah. I don't think,
yeah. Anyway, I might try my luck.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't see you ever playing that Ian Fleming here.
James Bond.
Go on, say again?
My name's Bond, James Bond.
Right, no, well, Carl, what did you think of it?
I'd sort of trust him a bit more than the real one.
Yeah.
I'd sort of go...
My name's Bond, James Bond, do you want your gardening done?
Right, yeah.
Something like that, do you know what I mean? I'm probably not going to be all fanciful than that.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say the word from Russians, but I can help you geraniums.
There's less espionage, a bit more horticulture and gardening.
Yeah, a bit more botany.
Bit more botany. Yeah,
I'm James Botany.
I've got it, alright, and you could do Dr. Ho.
Dr. Ho.
Dr. Ho, that's...
Instead of Dr. No.
That's riffing, innit? We're riffing now.
I think that's beautiful, the way everything's come together. Have you been listening to our Carl's Rockbusters quiz?
Yeah, I didn't really get it, to be honest with you, because that Lou Reed one...
Yeah.
What, Lou Reed, is he famous for going to the toilet? I mean, I didn't quite get it.
It's just simply that Lou Reed, right, the clue was a book in the toilet, right? And then the answer is...
What, he read books in the toilets?
No, right, he doesn't leave books in the toilet, Gareth. What it is the clue is a book in the toilet, Lou Reed. No, the book's not by Lou Reed.
Do you know what? I don't think he'd be a good James Bond, you know?
No, I don't think so. Because I think, like, you know, once, you know, like, Goldfinger, I think, would say that I'm gonna just gun you down. I think it was... Gareth, thank you very much for your call and for your contribution, and, I think one day, perhaps, you know, you will be on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Where's that?
That was Dandy Warhols, Every Day Should Be a Holiday. You're listening to Six Music with Karl Pilkington and Russell Brand. Oh, I just accidentally put your name first, just because I was looking over at your face, Karl. I hope you're not going to get all egotistical about that, are you?
I'm not, but I just was thinking then, like, every day should be a holiday, right?
Yeah.
That would do your head in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, because you wouldn't appreciate the holiday, would you? It'd all just be a holiday. You know, it's like, New York Dolls' 7-day weekend. Well, how do you distinguish it? It's just a big blur. I mean, maybe if you're in the New York Dolls, you can live like that. But a 7-day weekend, every day should be a holiday from the dandies.
But does that mean that you'd be on a plane a lot of that a lot of that time.
At least, I suppose, 10% of it you're travelling there or travelling back to the holiday.
Too much hassle.
Then a lot of time booking up the hotel, administrating it. No, well, I guess what they're saying is that the whole thing is the holiday. You're cutting out the journey time, you're cutting out all the rhubarb. That's what they're suggesting. Anyway, we've got some text messages here. The first one is from Smithy, right? The hardest working postie in the country. I used to be a postman, and I would query that, because well, actually, I was a rubbish postman. I was doing it as scab labour over Christmas, right? I did it for like sort of 4 weeks. I didn't know about like union politics and solidarity. I was just young. I was just 16. A job came up, be a postie for 4 weeks. I stole CDs. I'm ashamed to admit, right? And like I admitted to it in an article that I wrote. And I got a letter from like the police, got the TV channel that I was working at, got a letter from the police saying he's made this admission, these stolen letters while a postman. We've had a letter from someone who lived in that area, and they would like to follow it up. Very lucky that that letter didn't get stolen. Thankfully, the normal posties were back by then.
What CD was it that he didn't?
I nicked Frank Sinatra. It wasn't the same person. It wasn't his CD. I nicked this Frank Sinatra CD, that's the one I remember nicking. But the person that's like was aggrieved that that's not like I nicked their CD. It was just a coincidence. He just said I had letters nicked, and so therefore this person saying they used to be a postie. Also, when I was delivering the letters, I was delivering a letter down the street, and there was a park there. There was like some people playing football, so I stopped to watch it. Yeah. It turned out it was the striking posties playing football. And they went, "Oi, scab! Get back and deliver your letters, you scab!" Well, I thought, oh no, this is a harsh introduction into the world of unionisation.
You see, it's not that bad. It was only a Frank Sinatra CD. It's like, calm down, we'll get you another one.
Yeah.
But say if you moved on from Postman to one of those couriers who deliver lungs and that.
Yeah.
That's where it would be a problem if you're going, oh, I think I'll have that.
That's a nice looking spleen. I don't mind if I do. I'll pop that in my waistcoat. Right, so anyway, Smithy, the hardest working postman who would never nick a spleen or, anything, he says, right now, the clue was, it was a cryptic clue sent in by Nigel Webb from Kendal from Cumbria. Alright, it's, Trevor from Going Lives, mate, and Wayne from Wayne's World's mate's father's brother. Right, the initials SAG. He says, is that Simon and Garfunkel? Smithy, you are right, it is Simon and Garfunkel. Trevor from Going Live's mate and Wayne from Wayne's World's mate's father's brother. That is, of course, Simon and Garf Uncle. Simon and Garf Uncle. Well, that's a good clue, good answer. Now, are we going to make Nigel Webb Kendal Cumbria responsible for giving a prize to Smithy the postie? No, actually we don't have to, because he says he'd like some live Gary Newman. We ain't got any live Gary Newman, but we have got this for you.
Well, we're just playing Kaiser Chiefs first.
Oh, we're playing Kaiser Chiefs first, we're going to play...
And then we'll give him Gary Newman.
Alright, you can have that. We'll satiate Smithy, if you're working hard as a postie, he's obviously a patient and decent man. Also, look, there's another text message here, also getting it right. It's from our mate Callum in Scotland. Simon and Garfunkel to that Rockbuster question. You can send me something if you want. I'm willing to wait. Now, he does want a prize, but he's willing to wait. So we'll have to ask Steph, our producer, we've got this Pink Floyd book, actually, right? We can still knock that out. Or we could go and raid Phil Jupitus's desk. And I'm not doing this on my own. You're not, mate. You robbed them cakes when you were a nipper, stuffing yourself with cream cakes. You deserved that seizure. That was Gary Newman. Card before that we had Kaiser Chiefs. Here we are, 6 Music. Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington coming to the end of looking after the chaos that Nemone has left in this studio. I'll miss this job, will you, Karl?
Yeah, I miss our little chats and that. Yeah.
You hesitated there, like as if you won't miss it.
Well, it's just like I say, it's like having too many holidays, isn't it? If you do something a lot,
right, then you don't appreciate it.
I was reading about this fella in the paper, right? He was going on with it coming up to a new year and that.
Yeah.
He's one of those motivational type blokes.
He's trying to motivate people, is he?
He's saying it's a new year, right? Do stuff you like doing, and you'll be happy in that.
Yeah.
But he was saying, make sure you do more of what you like.
Make sure you
do more of what you like.
In your case, what would that be?
Don't know really. I haven't got anything that.
You don't have nothing. I don't know how you keep yourself alive. I don't know how you motivate yourself to get out of bed in the morning.
Stuff, don't I? I like it when you
another text here. This is from Catherine and Peter in Bath. they're enjoying our show, and they said, can you explain the meaning of apocryphal rhubarb as mentioned in last night's show? Could it be a new religion or a new religious concept? Well, apocryphal means, like, I think it means at least a story that's reported to be true, reputedly true, but ain't necessarily so. We gave the example of George Washington chopped down that tree. Carl still doesn't understand this.
I don't know how you get all these... where's the room in your head, right, where you're keeping all these words?
I cleared it out of a big blaze of heroin throughout my teens and 20s.
I'll tell you, right, I got a new phone the other day for Christmas. You know, I sort of treat myself.
Well, you bought it for yourself?
Yeah, just a new little mobile.
Mobile,
right?
yeah, okay.
And it's got that predictive text on it.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure that my new phone is brainier than me, right?
I would not dispute that. I reckon we should let it co-host the rest of the show.
No, I was probably sending a text to you, and I was putting in ain't, right? As in, like, I ain't got a clue.
Is not, yeah.
Ain't, and I put in ain't, looked at the screen, and it had brought up biotechnology.
It brought up biotechnology?
Who's sending that on a text?
Well, possibly terrorists. I mean, so, like, I think it's good that it's anticipated that. You were trying to say ain't.
Ain't. I mean, I don't know if it works on everyone's phone. It'd be interesting to see if different phones are brainier than others, really.
Because, you know, there's a machine somewhere in the world, some computer machine. My phone's a daft, it is. It interferes with my life.
What would it say if you put in ain't? Just try and...
I can't be bothered, Russell. Alright, well, let's try it. We'll do it now. Let's just put in ain't now. A-I-N-T. Ain't.
You see, what's probably happened is it's got used to you.
It's got used to me doing it. So hold on, now it's time for this. Core blimey, I'm ever so lonely, so I am. What wouldn't I give for the company of a lady or sank? That's what it's gone on. It's just predicted my whole mood there, just from that little bit of information that it got then. Hey, what was I going to say about phones and technology and stuff like that? Oh yeah, right, there's do you know that there's like a computer that listens to all our phone calls and all of our texts to make sure that, you know, because it's sensitive to, like, crime and terrorism. So if you send a text message that says in it something like, if you send a text message, right, try it with your friends. If it said, like, cocaine, bomb, communism, those are all buzzwords that mean it would alert this computer thing, and I'd say, hello, someone's sending text messages here that are of a dubious nature. So be very careful if you send text messages that contain that kind of information.
I don't think I need to worry.
Why? Because you don't send that.
No.
I suppose if you're sending a text message that says, get me some cocaine, I need it to get the confidence up, I've planted a bomb, also we ought to consider the Communist Manifesto, then perhaps the CIA should keep their eyes peeled.
Mine probably won't say it, it'd say something else, like biological something or other. It's just
recalcitrant, uppity fool, you, Carl. I'm glad it stepped in. Setting Sun there by Chemical Brothers. Brilliant to listen to it for 5 minutes 27 seconds, but would you like it in your head for all eternity, Karl Pilkington?
No. I mean, it's good and everything, like you say, but
after a while, it would send you over the edge. But for 5 minutes 20, that was 5 minutes of bliss, wasn't it?
It was
just to have that. Listen to Six Music. I'm Russell Brand here with Karl Pilkington. Yeah, so here's some things to text us about and email us about and phone us. The phone numbers 08. What is the phone number, Carl? 0800. I know that's the start of it.
08700.
08700. Oh Christ! What a way to begin.
100 600.
08700 100 600.
Yeah.
You can give us a little bell and tell us what artist or group would you like to have in your mind at all times, and which one would you least like to have? Or you can text us on 640406. Same information. Or you can, I think, just use those mediums. You can email us if you want, but if you want to do that, you've got to investigate it for yourself.
Well, I might as well say it in the time you said that. I might as well just say it's russell.sixmusic@bbc.co.uk.
It just confuses me saying things with a lot of dots in it, 'cause I feel like I'm using Morse code, punctuation. It's baffling way to communicate. I'm scared of the internet anyway, as you know. I just find it a very
it's weird,
difficult way to communicate with people. But, you know, hey, let's get with it. Grow up, stop being such a square. Now, what I wanted to talk about is this competition, right? So we did Carl's Rockbusters. It was a roaring success, but Brian from Manchester and Ian quickly got the answers, right? So we've had to give away the prizes. We've got one Pink Floyd book left. Oh, and Life Aquatic's still in here. Someone can have that as well. So, like, we've got another prize here. But I like doing Rockbusters, right? And I want people to do more of them. We've had some brilliant suggestions.
No, but we haven't got any prizes.
Right, we've not got any prizes, but we have got options, Carl, right? We've got a couple of options, right? You're friends and colleagues with Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant. You could plunder them for merchandise. I'm friends with David Walliams.
No, but this is asking favours. If I had a mate of who was a doctor, and he was saying, "Oh, my leg needs to come off. Do you know anyone?" I wouldn't sort of start dragging my mates in to say,
"Alright, let's get him." I'll tell you what.
Got a bad leg.
Let's get a alright, if someone, alright, so then let's not just think, oh, let's have celebrity people, right? Like, you know, alright, I know, Lee Francis, creator of Bo Selector, we could get him to give some DVDs, signed DVDs as prizes. Or, I also know a bloke who's a plumber, like he'll come round to your house and mend your pipes. But I'll tell you this, that bloke who's a plumber, he also dresses up in women's underwear, so if you want him rifling through your drawers, fair enough. Now we've got another, like, so look, there's some of the I think we could go and raid Phil Jupitus' desk. He's got a bounty in there. He's got all sorts of stuff. What's your and anyway, people will understand. If people want to do Rockbusters, right, they could do it for the love of doing the Rockbusters, and, you know, hopefully they'll get a prize. But
That's asking a lot, though, isn't it?
No guarantee. What's it, like, no, because there's some good suggestions. What was this suggestion here? Oh yeah, look, this is from Tommy in Fife. His suggestion is Scottish garage assistant fella describes Diesel. Scottish garage assistant fella describes Diesel. So it's going to be like an accent describing Diesel or another kind of fuel. That's Tommy from Fife's one.
Is he saying that they've run out of fuel?
No, he's just describing it. It just says he describes it. He's not saying, Scottish, yeah, I think that'd be a better clue, yeah. He's saying that they've run out of fuel. Scottish garage assistant fella says that there's no fuel here. That's Tommy from Fife's suggestion with a little bit of Karl Pilkington magic just sprinkled over the top. Then, there's another one, that painting smell nice, what's going on there? We don't know, that's just sent by an anonymous person, just for the love of Rockbusters. You see, you're creating a phenomenon here, Karl.
So what's the initials on that one?
The initials are, on the first one, the Diesel describing fuel one, Scottish fella describing fuel, that's SP, and the painting smelling nice, what's going on there, the initials are AB. Okay, so send us your answers to those, and we might get a prize. We could either go and raid Phil Jupitus' desk. I see you've got some Jack D DVDs there, we could go rifle through there.
I'll tell you what would be really easy to sort out. Maybe like if they've got a favourite song or something.
Favourite song?
And
we could play. Oh yeah, we could play. Alright, could do a request. But also, I'm up for nicking some stuff now. I don't know, my blood's up, Karl. But like, you said, like, we've got a commitment. Once we've like given out a prize, we've got to give it.
All I'm thinking is, right, if we say, oh, we'll get some signed DVDs, right? It's not going to happen for the next week because it's New Year and stuff. We're not going to, right? And then it's just that long wait. And I remember when I was a kid, right? And like I joined the Dennis the Menace fan club,
with Beano,
filled it out, and that, and every day.
Oh, it was an interminable wait, wasn't it? It just went on and on. Within 28 days, I was driven mad. I want me Nasher badge.
And that's what I'm thinking, you know. Rory, who's sending a lot of texts.
Good old Rory, God bless him.
He's good, he's been there every night for us, supporting us, right?
He's been a rock for us, Rory.
Say if he took part, and his days are going by, and he's getting up every morning, looking out at the postman, going, where's me post, sir? There's nothing.
Like he goes all Dickensian. Excuse me, has there been any letters in the mail for me today? That was Coral in the Morning, and before that we had Richard Ashcroft, Break the Night with Colour. This show's been musically very good, isn't it? Have you enjoyed it so far?
I'm loving it, yeah.
I'd like to have most of these tracks in my head, but not, as we said before, not Chemical Brothers all the time. 5 minutes, that's more than enough. Well, it's not more enough, it's exactly right. They pitched it perfectly. Got email, or we've got, you know, like we're doing our Rockbusters quiz. Well, we've got some more suggestions from people. This one is from Mellow Simon in Surbiton, right? His clue is, used to be Mr. Winston's muscles, initials X and S, win a Doors DVD. He's going to provide a prize, right? And he'd like to have Bobby Hutcherson's in his head the whole time. Fair enough. But
just give us that clue again a second.
Right. Used to be Mr. Winston's muscles, initials X and S. He's providing his own prize. If you can get that right, win a Doors DVD. Now, we're not culpable for that. If Mellow Simon in Surbiton reneges on that deal and you never see that Doors DVD, we ain't responsible. Do you see what it means? We can do this quiz. We don't have to go and raid Phil Jupitus' desk. We can keep our fingers clean. We don't have to have our dabs all over.
What, so we're just leaving it to them? It's like some sort of Noel Edmonds swap shop thing.
It's like swap shop. We're doing on-air swap shop now. Although I still think that, you know, if people get the ones that we've already put out, like that one from Tommy from Fife, Scottish garage assistant, describes Diesel, says there's no fuel there, right, initials SP, we'll have to provide the prize. If anyone gets that painting smell nice, what's going on there, initials AB, we've got to go on a little Phil Jupiter's desk raid. I feel nervous about having to do that. Or, you know, I could ask Williams and Lucas if they'll find something, but you may have to have a big long Beano 28-day wait. Now, there's another text message. We've got one from Rory, of course, dear old Rory. He's sat safely at home. I'd like to think of him there. Bless him, lovely Dickensian lad. Right, we've got another text message here. Sitting where I do with my team leader, it's actually like having the chicken song in your head all day. That's Russ in Chester. Oh, I wouldn't like to even hear that once. So it would be disconcerting. Oh, and someone wanted to know what apocryphal rhubarb means. Apocryphal means something that's reputedly true, but is unsubstantiated, and necessarily true. Like one of them things, not like an urban myth, like you're always on about, like that woman having spiders laying eggs in her eyes or something like that. But like,
why can I remember stuff like that, right? And yet you can just reel these words off. Right, without even do you think about it when you're using these big words? No, they're just ingrained in my mind. But like, you know, I'm an only child, did a lot of reading as a boy, because I was all sort of all lonely, weren't I? So I was like that, you know, Beano comics was my only friends. But what about like when I've spoke to you sometimes, you start doing Latin and stuff?
Don't stop doing Latin.
You did. There was one time when you said something.
Carpe diem. Seize the day. Everyone knows that. I know that from the film Dead Poets Society. What it is, I'm good at collating bits of information that sound impressive. I'm good at doing that. A lot of, like, you know, information, right, like, you know, a lot of information I've got about, like, Wilfred Owen, Siegfried Sassoon, World War I poets, that comes from Blackadder. Do you know what I mean? And sort of, I get little pop cultural tidbits, collate them together in my mind, and then I'm able to send them back out into the world. Carpe diem means seize the day, live the moments.
But why didn't they just say that?
Because that was their language, so then that was saying it.
Yeah, but it was kind of like...
condensed.
Were they always in a rush, them people?
They had a lot going on. They were very busy people, the Latins, Carl.
All sort of crammed in, innit?
They've got to get a lot of information conveyed in a very quick way. As quick a way as possible. In many ways, they're a lot like us. That was The Cure, The Walk. This is BBC Six Music. I'm Russell Brand. I'm here with Karl Pilkington. We're standing in for Nemone while she... I imagine her lavering herself up, not even in a bath, sat on a carpet, just lavering herself up with all manner of vim, probably. Soaping herself down with vim while we're in here toiling.
Why are you thinking that? You mean... like,
I don't know, a hoe, a spade, a shovel...
But the one I'm thinking about is a rake.
Right.
It's not yours. What you're doing with that, you've stolen that, right? Yeah, so that's nicked.
Nicked. Yeah. Drake. Nicked rake. Nick Drake.
Nick
brilliant. Okay, so this is that's the competition, and like, if you can, that's not an actual one now, that was just an example. I don't know the answer, so I'm going to be playing along as well. The prizes are, essentially, it's Carl's DVD clear out, right? It's DVDs that you've watched or you're bored of.
Yeah.
Right, one DVD is The Day After Tomorrow. What have you got against that?
It's just, I mean, I like sort of weird things that happen on the planet, anything with a tornado in it, or, bad weather, and all that. I love all that, but I've seen it, don't want to watch it again.
Right, so that's one prize you could be winning. Phone Booth, Colin Farrell film. What?
Enjoyed that, but, I watched it once, loved it.
Yeah.
Watched it again just to see if there was any flaws in it, any little holes and that I could say, oh, they added there.
Troubleshooting.
Couldn't find any.
Yeah.
The only bad thing with that is, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's basically, the message is, you know, don't pick up the phone, or don't
help others.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Don't pick up the phone, that's the central message. I wouldn't mind that. I'll be in the running for that, because I've not seen either of those. But Nighty Night by Julia Davis, that DVD, that's still in its cellophane wrapping. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought I'd left it too late. It's sort of been and gone.
Right, the bus has gone, it's right. And then you've got Marion and Jeff and The Life Aquatic. I've seen The Life Aquatic, that's a really good film. Why are you giving that away?
Didn't like it. It was all
It's beautiful. I've really enjoyed it. It's visually stunning.
Yeah, I know, but that isn't enough in a film, is it?
What's it, this is visually stunning?
Well, it's not about that. If that's the case, I wouldn't like The Elephant Man. Right. It's not visually, you know, a good-looking fella, but it's a brilliant film. Yeah, it's a beautiful, brilliant film, isn't it? Very moving, touching, noble, wonderful man. Alright, but we'll talk about The Elephant Man later, definitely. Oh, and also another prize, Steph, our producer's got these Pink Floyd books. Oh, she's holding them now. It's nice to have her here. She'll probably clear off to a party, I would have thought. Within half hour, she'll be sick and tired of us, leaving us like orphans. Thank you very much, Steph. Right, these Pink Floyd books,
Dark Side of the Moon, the making of Pink Floyd's masterpiece. Oh, that'd be alright. So yeah, it's like 3 copies of that. So if you can answer Carl's cryptic Rockbuster, also I'm going to be in the running. So, but if I get one right, I'll take it. But I won't take all the prizes, and also I might not get any right. So go on, what's the clue?
Do you know what I think we should do, right? Because people will be loving this.
Yeah.
Let them get some pen and paper on that, right?
Right, and then we'll do it after.
And we'll do it after the next.
Sunny Road from Emiliana Torini. This is 6 Music. Russell Brand standing in for Nemone with Karl Pilkington, who just said that he reckons that he could have Emiliana Torini's voice playing in his head at all times. Don't you think it would eventually, though, it would start to annoy you, wouldn't it?
No, it's soothing, isn't it?
Alright, but say you don't want to be soothed. Perhaps you're entering into a bout of aggressive lovemaking with your partner, and you've got Emiliana Torini's Sunny Road, all gentle with that.
Maybe just, what I didn't tell you is I've got a little volume knob on the side of my head.
You turn it down.
A bit, yeah.
Well, no, but you've undermined the premise. You said you wanted it all times. Who wouldn't you like to have in your mind at all times?
Musically.
Ice Cube.
Something like that.
Ice Cube, making you insecure.
I don't like any song when you can't hear what they're telling you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
You like it to be clear. You like there to be clear narratives, which is why about every 10 minutes you bring up your love of In the Ghetto.
In the Ghetto, Elvis, brilliant. You can hear it, there's a story, it's got a start, middle and end. But all this rap, I can't hear what they're saying.
Right.
Opera. It's nothing to do with, rap and stuff. It's opera, the same problem, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Don't know, but that's in Italian or German or something. Just like very clearly to know what's going on. Alright, and yet you see fit yourself to pose riddles for others, like your patented Rockbusters. Come on, what's the first Rockbuster? You can win like a variety of DVDs and books and that. Also, what I'd like you to do, right, if you're having a little bit of a listen, you can text in with whose voice would you most like to have going on in your mind all the time, and whose would you least like to have going on all the time inside your mind, and also which DVD you might like to win, and of course you've got to answer the Rockbuster inquiry. What is it then? Right
then, so there's 3 little clues. Will we do...
to get one? I think we should just do one at a time, don't you?
Well, we should have thought this through, shouldn't we?
Do all 3. Do what you're happy. Go with your instincts. You're the creator of the Rockbuster. I don't want it ever to be said that I've impeded you.
We'll do all 3, right? But we won't say who the winner is until after midnight. Is that fair enough?
Alright, fair enough. Oh, you keep people hanging on.
Well, that's what you do, innit, on the radio and that.
Yeah. You're a cruel, cold man. Right, let's hear these clues then.
Listen then. So the first clue, right? The Scottish fella can't get into his emails.
Scottish fella can't get into... What's the initials?
KL.
KL. Scottish fella can't get into his emails.
Now, the Scottish fella, forget, he's not an artist who's Scottish and that. You've just got to look at that clue and think about, right...
Scottish fella, you think Jock, Hamish, something like that.
You could, think about the way they speak or something. It could be, do you know what I mean? They're really cryptic, right?
Really cryptic.
I mean, sometimes it's easier just to look at the initials and go, who could that be, and then think about the clue
afterwards. Think about the initials first. Are they so cryptic, Carl, that sometimes you just think, well, you've wasted an hour of my life?
Well, we'll see. I'll let you decide that when I give you the answers and that. You might, go mental.
Brilliant.
So, alright, so that's the first one, right?
Okay, what else?
Second one.
Yeah.
If you get, like, a light bulb, right?
Yeah.
And you look after that light bulb when it's young.
Yeah.
Right? And, you look after it, you teach it stuff.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Right, what are you doing?
And the initials are?
R.
Just R?
Just R, yeah.
Looking after a light bulb, nurture it, treasure it when it's young, the initial is just R. If you can answer, if you know the answer, these are baffling to me, but if you know the answer, you could be winning Life Aquatic, Nighty Night, or the making of Dark Side of the Moon. I've just had a look at that, it's really interesting. Yeah. And what's the third?
The last one is, the Australian fella picks 2 men.
The Australian fella picks 2 men.
Yeah.
Initials are?
E.
Okay, so... Okay, let's go quickly summarise it for us.
So the first one, the Scottish fella can't get into his emails. What's going on
and
there?
And the initials are KL. Right, okay.
Second one, you get a bulb.
Yeah.
Right? You look after it.
Yeah.
Right?
While it's young, you nurture it.
And that, you nurture it, and that, you're teaching it stuff.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
Initial R.
Right, R.
And the third and final one?
The Australian fella picks 2 men.
Right, Australian fella picks 2 men. Okay, so those are the 3 clues.
E is the letter for that one. Right.
You can text us on 64046, or you can give us a call if you like on 08700 100 600. We'll get you right on the air. or you can email us at russell.sixmusic.co.uk.
russell.sixmusic@bbc.co.uk.
There we are, it couldn't be less confusing.
And we'll just let them get on with that whilst we're chatting and playing songs and that.
We've got plenty of songs to be getting on with.
Midnight, we can just, pick out a winner and...
We'll reveal the answers and let out the booty. Also, sort of perhaps text us, what artists would you most like to have inside of your mind at all times? And what would be the drawbacks of that? Surely there would be some problems. Let's get on the music, shall we? Going Nowhere by Cut Copy. Before that we had Statue of Liberty, XTC. This is Russell Brand standing for Nemone on your BBC Six Music. I mean, with Karl Pilkington, with his Rockbusters quizzes and queries, right? I was about to say, you wasted everyone's time because I think they're impossible, that no one will ever, if we could sit here till the end of time and no one will get those cryptic clues. We've had, already, 4 people that have got them completely right. Brian from Manchester, you're right. Who else is right? Ian in Southend, you're right. Then there's someone from Scotland, TC in Glasgow, he goes, you can keep them DVDs, lads. He ain't interested. He's not getting seduced by your contests. And then Paula from the bank says, I don't have a Scooby on those Rockbusters, but I'd like a Pink Floyd book. Well, Paula, working in a bank, you may have a good strong foothold in the world of capitalism, but you can't start throwing your weight round here. You'll have to enter the competition like a normal person. Carl, I reckon that you should think of some new ones and we should give these people the prizes because they've come up with it so quickly.
I know, but we've only got what do you want me to do? Go home and see what the DVDs are?
Go and get some more DVDs. Perhaps, perhaps you could give up some of your shoes or something.
No, just leave it.
Listen, if you were getting into Buddhism, you'd have to renounce some of your material possessions. I don't think you'd stand a chance.
Whoa.
That person offered you a plum, you turned your nose up at it because you thought he was a bit grubby, then you're clinging on these DVDs already looking away. I reckon we should reveal the answers and you should think of some more. You've got more of these things in your mind, haven't you?
Yeah, but we haven't got many DVDs.
Of course we have. We'll get more. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go over around Jupiter's desk. He's got all sorts of DVDs lying around there. We'll go and load ourselves up with Phil Jupiter's booty. Come on. Right. Brian from Manchester, you were right. So go and say the clues, the first clue again.
And you give the answer.
Yeah, and I'll give the answer.
Right, the clue was a Scottish fella. Right. He can't get into his emails. Why is it?
The answer is Kenny Loggins. Kenny Loggins. Correct answer, Brian from Manchester. I would never have got that.
Alright. The second one, right, you get a little bulb and that, right? You sort of look after it, right?
Yeah,
when it's young and stuff, and you teach it stuff.
Yeah.
Right? The initial was R.
Yeah. Raise a light. You raise a light. You literally raise a light. And what was the third and final one?
The Australian fella picks 2 men.
Picks 2 men? Him and him. I'll have that one or that one. Eminem. Perfect. Well, Brian from Manchester, you were right. Ian in Scotland, you were right. Right, so send in, text us or call us now. Tell us you can both have a copy of the Pink Floyd book, but then we've got to divide up phone booth, nighty night, day after tomorrow, and Mary and Jeff between you.
Do you know what, right? How about this?
Yeah,
right.
well, they do a playoff.
No, what I'm thinking is, why don't people make their own?
Yeah.
Send them in to us.
And we'll do them. Right, we'll challenge it. Oh, well, it's a two-way street, Carl. Right, you send your ones in to us, but we want prizes off of you. And the only currency I understand is kissing from good-looking women. That was Caught by the River by Doves. Before that, we had 5 Man Army by Massive Attack. This is Six Music with Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington. Thanks very much for your text messages. Right, Mark Smith, you were just a bit too late. You did have the right answer with for Carl's cryptic Rockbusters quiz. Right, it was Kenny Loggins, Razor Light, Eminem. Yes, that's true. And here, this is actually Steve from Cardiff says that he would like to have Joe Strummer in his head. He'd like to have Joe Strummer in his head.
What if one song was sort of going over and over in your head?
Not necessarily one song, one artist. If he had to have it permanently in his mind, constantly, he'd go for Joe Strummer. He wouldn't like to have Ozzy Osbourne in his head at all times, particularly because Ozzy would occasionally get bored of performing and just start making emotional demands, wouldn't he? Oh, I can't work the remote control, Sharon, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, probably like an instrumental's best as well, isn't it, thinking about it? Get an
instrumental because then you can, if you need
words.
To... Yeah. What if you need to focus on a task, on some administrative thing? Callum reckons that he sent a text saying he would hate to have Sean Paul constantly in his mind. Can anyone understand what he says? No, I don't know if anyone can.
See, that's what's bad, isn't it? Because it's like he could have something really important to say.
Yeah.
And we're all going, what's he saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. What about
Like we were talking about Jesus earlier, if Jesus had murmured, yeah, or, you know, just been inarticulate or used opera, then Christianity would not have taken the world by storm in the fashion that it has.
And we wouldn't have tables and chairs.
We'd have no table, we'd all be sat on the floor, eating our food off the tiles with bleeding gums. Can you imagine what kind of world that would be, Carl? That was Morrissey with Suede Head. You're listening to BBC Six Music. I'm Russell Brand, standing in for Nemone for the last of my 3 nights, standing in for her. She'll be back tomorrow then. I'm here with Karl Pilkington. Over the next 3 hours till 1 o'clock, we've got some brilliant things in store. We're going to be analysing the news, talking about man's relationship with beasts. We're going to talk a bit about Jesus. In a Christian sense. We're certainly not going to undermine Jesus, who did some jolly good work. We're also talking about extraterrestrials later in the show. Carl might do some Bible readings, and Carl's got a brilliant competition, ain't you, Carl?
Yeah, it'll be alright, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's very exciting.
We've had a few requests for the feature.
Yeah,
so Rockbusters.
Yeah, Rockbusters. That's it. That's what it's called.
So we'll give away some DVDs and that. They'll
I think that's going to be awesome. A bit of fun for all of us. We might talk about mysteries and doppelgangers a little bit later. Send us some text if you want to make predictions for things that might happen over the next year. But we've got some fantastic music coming up over the next hour. We've got a session from 1992 of Radiohead. That'll be amazing to have a little listen to. We've got Arctic Monkeys, XTC. We've got loads of things. It's worth staying with us for the next 3 hours, if only to hear Carl's competition. I don't know the answers to these. I'm going to join in that competition because some of them prizes are desirable. So stay with us. That was Coldplay with Talk. You're listening to Six Music. I'm Russell Brand, standing in for Nemone over the Christmas period with Karl Pilkington. I think, right, today's the 29th of December. This is like the last legitimate opportunity we're going to get to talk about Christmas. Later on in the show, we've got a lot of other topics to cover. So let's quickly just talk once and for all about Jesus and Christmas and that. Now, I've had a look at the Bible, but I saw that Passion of the Christ, right, last year, and it's good, sort of, because as much as any sort of biblical story can be, it's authentic. You know, used like Mel Gibson, who directed, used authentic Latin languages and Aramaic and stuff to tell the story, right? And it's sort of, you know, as we all know, Jesus did those miracles, did many wonderful things, preached peace and compassion. Right, so what I thought was, right, fair enough, focus on those things for the films, for the film Passion of the Christ. Where I'll take issue with the film Passion of the Christ, right, Carl, is that there was a scene in it where, Jesus as a younger man, before he's, started getting properly into the preaching, so there's a scene where he's, credited with the invention of the dinner table, right? He's there at home, in the workshop with Mary, and he's making because in sort of ancient, or not ancient, in biblical times, they sort of apparently dinner tables, they ate at tables that were sort of you'd sit on the floor, you wouldn't sit at chairs. And Jesus, however, he's working on a waist-tight table. Mary comes in, she sees this. Jesus, what are you doing? It's a table I'm making, Mother. You know, she goes, a table, you say, at waist height, and he goes, yeah, you may not think it now, but I've a funny feeling it might catch on, right, and almost winks to the camera. And I think, why do you need to, Jesus has done all these amazing things, why do we need to make out that he invented the table? I've looked right through the Bible, start to finish, looking for a bit saying Jesus was the mind behind IKEA. Then there's no evidence to suggest that he is at all.
But it's the same thing, isn't it, as the sort of Shane Ritchie problem now. He doesn't know what he wants to sort of own. Do you know what I mean? I like Shane Ritchie, he's a likeable fella, but sometimes I wonder if an alien landed and said, you know...
As one might.
And said, Shane Ritchie, what does he do? Or whatever, if they talk like that.
Well,
I'd go, do you know what, mate? I'd say, you've got me there.
Yeah.
I won't be able to help him, because it's kind of... Is he a comic? Is he a singer? Is he an actor?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got many talents, and I'm not having a go at him for that.
And you think Jesus, in a way...
That's what he's doing there, isn't it? He's like saying, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. What, you want water into wine? Yeah, leave that with me. Tell you what, though, what you need with that wine is a table. And here's a chair, and it's like, what?
Hold on a minute, focus, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
But of course this is just, I will point out, because we don't want to blaspheme, not during the Christmas period, that it is Mel Gibson's depiction of Jesus, rather than an objective or actual Jesus, who never claimed to be the inventor of tables. Nor did Shane Ritchie, really. Shane Ritchie, I think, has had quite a focused career. That was Decent Days and Nights Future Eds. Before that, we had a world tour from A Tribe Called Quest. You're listening to Six Music with Russell Brand and Karl Pilkington. We was having a bit of a chat about the passion of the Christ, right? And sort of the issue that I had with it is, like, it's already a story that contains miracles, the Son of God coming to earth to redeem mankind. Does it need jazzing up by saying that Jesus invented the table? My answer to that hypothetical question that I've self-posed is no. And, like, then another bit, right, at the end of the film, they had a raven coming, like, when Christ's up on the cross, they had a raven come down and, like, you know, Barabbas, the thief, who was released instead of Jesus.
Well, I don't know.
Well, apparently they goes to the people, who do you want released, you know, out of this lot? One of them is Jesus, bear in mind. They said Barabbas, the thief, you know.
Yeah.
And, like, anyway, as I remember, in the Passion of Christ, a raven came down and started pecking out someone's eyes, like one of the people on the cross, like not Jesus, obviously one of the others. I thought, well, that's not necessary, is it? You know, to have, because I mean, it's not in. Again, I've looked in the Bible. At no point does it say, and though a raven came down and pecked out. Just cinematic license and unnecessary.
That's what they do, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to bother seeing it, because it's been out ages, hasn't it? It's sort of gone now, that. It's sort of...
Let it go. And look, you're reading the Bible anyway, aren't you? So you can just get the information first hand.
I mean, it is interesting,
yeah.
all different religions and stuff.
Yeah.
And about a year ago, right, I kind of thought, you know, people talk about it a lot, there must be something in it, you know, there might be something in there that I'll enjoy, something to do a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
I like stories. And a lot of it is about stories.
A lot of it's, yeah, parables, stories and that.
Yeah, fables and all that,
fables,
right? Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I could get into this. And I was looking at different religions, and I thought, what I'll do, I'll just try them all out, and sort of find out, you know, which one, sort of, do you have to give the most time to? Because I didn't want anything that was overpowering.
Right, yeah, well, that's the thing with a religious faith. You don't want to have to devote too much time to it.
Too much time. I didn't want to have to get up too early for it, but... You know, I'd be willing to help people out, and I think at the end of the day, if you're prepared to do that, then you're onto a winner.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I didn't get that far into it. I saw a little Buddhist fella, right, because I thought, they always seem happy, they're always singing and stuff. Yeah. I've got a bald head anyway, right?
Fair enough, you're on the way.
And I spoke to some fella on Oxford Street.
Yeah.
And he was a little Buddhist bloke, and I said, alright. And he was like, yeah, alright. But I don't know where he was from. He was from somewhere in the world where he couldn't understand me and I couldn't understand him. Yeah, that could be anywhere other than within the confines of your mind, Karl. Yeah. I would like to. And I said, look, your religion and that, is it any good? And he gave me a plum. Right. But that's one of them fruits that you don't want to eat when it's from someone else, because it's too, do you know what I mean? It's do you eat the skin? That's the problem. He touched it? Yeah. Did he not look clean? He did look clean, but it's sometimes, you know, you see films where they inject stuff into fruit. I don't think that's part of Buddhism. I don't think one of the tenets of Buddhism is inject fruit with an elixir to make people Buddhist. It's all about giving and generosity and spirituality, isn't it? I mean, maybe if you had grubby fingernails, I can understand your reluctance. Well, you did a bit of it, didn't you? I hung out with the Hare Krishnas for a while, and like sort of went to. They've got a mansion that George Harrison bought them, right? Called Back to Devantha Manor. I love these Hare Krishnas. They're all lovely. They're lovely, right? But like any group of people, there are certain individuals, like, you know, sort of like, you know, there's good and bad in everyone. So like I went down there and they said, like, yeah, we've got this, like, what's the main tenets of your religion? Well, life is only an illusion. All material is meaningless. Life's a meaningless illusion, and don't get too attached to material objects or material possessions. I goes, oh, I noticed there's a celebration today. Why is that? It's the anniversary of the day George Harrison gave us this fabulous mansion. So I was like, well, hold on, you just said don't get all excited about material possessions, right? And they said, well, you know, it was a lovely gesture by George. Then they said the cow is sacred. Then this woman, lovely woman, Vashana, who's really brilliant, was explaining to me, oh, the cow is sacred in our faith. That's why we here at the Back to Devantha Manor for Hare Krishnas have got all these cows we keep down here in the cow shed. I'll take you to them. She started leading me towards the cow shed, saying, oh, it's symbolic of the relationship of the mother and child. Krishna's favourite animal was the cow. It's all very, you know, sort of, it's a beautiful, peaceful, life-giving animal. Right, and she was telling me it's on the way to the cow shed. We walked into the cow shed, and there was a bloke there hitting one with a stick to get it to go through a gate. I was like, well, this under my... And he had gold teeth and tattoos on him and stuff. He was like sort of a Russian gangster. I wasn't like, she was like, oh, don't worry about that. You know, sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. I said, oh, I've not seen that in the Back to Devantha. So if you were a cow... Yeah. in this country, and you could talk and that, you would be like, we want to get over there.
Because they think they're sacred.
Because in Egypt, it's the same with cats, isn't it?
Yeah, they are. And have you seen in the Sun today, right? Yeah, cats are sacred in Egypt. Have you seen in the Sun today, there's a story, 6 reasons people give for abandoning pets, right? This is in the Sun. Some of the RSPCA have revealed owners give some sick, pathetic excuses for dumping their pets to shelters. Here are just some of the excuses that we've had. We dumped our cat because it doesn't match the new carpet. That's one excuse. Well, I'm a cat owner. I've got a black and white cat. Goes with everything. Just got to think ahead when making the purchase. That's what I'd say. Another person says, the dog hurts my legs when it wags its tail. And I wonder if that's like because the legs are near to the wagging tail, or it's just like there's some weird correlation going on. It's Further On Up the Road by Bobby Bland. This is 6 Music. We've got a session track for you now. This was recorded for Radio 1's evening session on the 13th of June 1992. It's a real treat. It's Radiohead with Creep. This is Russell Brand on 6 Music. That was Radiohead with Creep, recorded in 92 at one of the Radio 1 evening sessions. And when we queued up the track, I described it as a real treat, which Carl was then all cynical about. Oh, real treat. But he just then made me feel alienated and confused, which made me appreciate a ballad of alienation like Creep all the more. So by insulting me, you've inadvertently enhanced my enjoyment of that track, because if that track is for anyone, it is for the dispossessed, and in that moment you made me one of them by going, real treat. So, you know, in a way, that has backfired on you, Pilkington, that attack. But let's move on now to a contest, why don't we? Right, so Carl does these competitions, Rockbusters, is that what you call them?
Call it Rockbusters, yeah. Right, I'll just give you a little taster of how it works.
Go on.
If you haven't heard it, then you don't know what goes on.
Yes, go on.
Basically, right, I give you some initials of an artist or a band or something.
Yeah.
And then there's a cryptic clue.
Cryptic, is it?
Sort of cryptic-ish, right? That gives a clue as to that band or artist. Right, it sort of makes up the title of the song.
Okay.
So if I said to you, if I said, I gave you the initials ND.
Yes, ND.
And then I say, what would I say? I'd say something like, oh, that garden tool, it's not yours, that, right?
That garden tool is not yours, and we know that the initials are ND.
And that would be...
Right, so...
That'd be, like, what's a garden tool?
Garden...
Like, some sort of Christmas present.
She's luxuriating, is what I'm suggesting.
There's a lot of soap about, isn't there?
Well, so she wouldn't need to use Vim, particularly not at Christmas.
No, I just was thinking, like, suddenly at Christmas, soap comes in all shapes and sizes, doesn't it?
Why is that?
I don't know, because it all does the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, did you... You got some from that facial, didn't you?
I got a bit of that, yeah. I went in there, she said, well, it's... The problem with all that stuff they give you in that facial place, right? It's all very well, right, if you got nothing else to do with your day.
Yeah.
But for me, I want to get up and out and have a wash in about 3 minutes.
Right.
All that stuff they do takes about half an hour.
Half hour washing yourself, putting different pastes and gums and powders.
It's not just washing yourself once. It was like you wash yourself and then you wash again. It's like, do you know what I mean? If I worked down the mines, I'd say maybe there's some, you know, muck under there.
Yeah.
But I'm only sat in here.
Sat in here, how dirty is your face going to get?
Not that dirty.
It's not, is it? Particularly as I've curbed most of my habits. Now, what we've got here is a lovely... You know, we're doing these Rockbusters quizzes, right? Tommy from Fife sent in, like, his clue. Scottish garage assistant fella describes diesel or lack of fuel. We amended it a bit. The initials are SP, right? That is contingent upon doing the answer in a certain accent. A Scottish accent, as he specifies, right? Your one was an accent about Kenny Loggins, wasn't it?
Scottish.
Kenny Loggins. Right, that was like another accent-dependent one. I've got this thing out of the paper today. It's actually the Sun paper, as will become apparent when I tell you that the headline was Accents Job Blow. Right? If you think about it, there's a joke in there. We won't elaborate because we're on the BBC and we've got too good a manners. Accents Job Blow. Job Blow.
That's like a Rockbuster.
Job Blow. Right? Yeah, it is, but here, you know, this isn't a clue. I'm going to give you the information now. Businessmen and women are prejudiced against regional accents, a survey reveals today. Nearly 80% of those quizzed, they always use things like that in the Sun, don't they? Those quizzed reckoned people with a home counties accent were generally successful, but 64% regarded those with a Liverpool accent as being generally unsuccessful, followed by those with a Birmingham accent or a West Midlands twang. Now, do you find accents inhibit success? I've got a little bit of an accent, right? I'm from Essex. You've got your Manchester accent there,
yeah,
haven't
but
you?
it's a bit softer now because I've been in London for a bit.
Your parents, when you go back home, do your parents say, "Oh, cry," and, "Oh, bloody hell, you sound like a right tough son," do they?
They do a little bit, yeah. But then after spending like a day with them,
yeah,
it comes back a bit and what have you.
Yeah, they take.
But what are they saying about? Do they say anything about Manchester voices?
They don't. Manchester is not. I mean, I think if we got the survey in full, you'd find that all northern accents were probably prejudiced against. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it used to be. But there are certain situations where an accent will be disconcerting, right? Sort of. Do you think? I mean, I
know what you mean. Like, probably. If you're on a plane.
Right, you're on an aeroplane and the captain...
the pilot comes on and he's like, "Right, sit down, will you? I'm going to take off in a minute." Alright, take off, sit down, behave yourself. Yeah, you'd worry. Because, I mean, it's a bit wrong, right? But I got on a little flight and she had a nice voice, but a woman's voice.
And that made you worried?
I don't know why. Because she's probably really good.
She's got to be qualified as a pilot. They can't just go, "Hello, she's a cracking-looking woman. Sit her in the cockpit." But
really strange how suddenly I was like, oh put your seatbelt on, keep it on.
Because you're a bit sexist.
It's not that, though.
How'd you have responded if an, "Ooh, chucks away, we're going to take to the scars now, gentlemen." That was the Strokes there. Right, now, on this accent thing, like, Carl, you wouldn't like to have, an overly effeminate or camp man, nothing to do with sexuality, because I'm quite camp and I'm heterosexual. You wouldn't like an overly camp man in a cockpit. Oh, don't mind if I do. Or a woman pilot. What other accents wouldn't you like to hear in certain jobs?
What about, doctors?
Doctors?
Yeah.
Well, like, if you went to see a doctor, you went, "Oh, crikey, you got terrible gallstones, I must say."
But here's another one with that, though, right? Forget voices and that, right?
Yeah.
Say if you haven't had to have a proper operation, have you?
No, I've not. I'm fit as a fiddle, have you?
No, I wouldn't do it.
Well, you wouldn't have an operation?
What if you had freaks me out a bit.
What if you had a dicky pancreas?
I thought I had one of them yesterday, but it was just too many tangerines.
That's all it was. Thank heavens for that. Dodgy pancreas. Oh no, I've just eaten 6 tangerines.
But
what's that thing that you reckon 6 bananas will kill you? Isn't that stupid?
It's 6 or 7.
I don't think there's any number of bananas that can kill you.
No, you can't. It's like loads of, like, if you have
potassium.
It's got to be in a row, not just like, oh, I'll have one later, and you've got to...
straight off, you unwrap all 7 bananas, unpeel them, neck the lot, you'll die.
It can kill you.
I don't believe that for a second. That's one of those things that Carl's just heard and believed, send a text message to either validate that or to disprove it. Like he was saying, people that have fits can get living dog hat helmets to wrap around their skulls to protect them. He was claiming just yesterday on this very radio station.
Well, listen, here's another little point, right? We've said about, like, a doctor having like a Scouse accent or a ranking sort of Manchester or whatever. What about, right, you go in hospital.
Yeah.
It's something pretty serious. You've got to have a new kidney.
Right, a new kidney.
Yeah, they're pretty vital, aren't they?
They're vital.
The nurse is there. She's going, "Right, Mr. Brand, everything's going to be alright. I'll just stroke your brow. Don't worry, don't sweat and that. The doctor will be in a minute."
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're lying there on your bed. Doctor comes in.
Yeah.
Right? He's about 12 years old.
12.
He can talk the talk.
Right, he's got all the lyrics.
He's doing all that, and he's going, "Yes, I liked you on, Big Brother's Big Mouth and that. That's one of my favourite programmes."
I'd worry if he brought that up.
He's really posh and everything, and he sounds really... Would you make a point of it? Would you go, "Aren't you a bit young?"
I would. I very much would. I'd say, "Look, I don't think you've had the experience of life. You seem very, very young to me to be tampering with my inside, and I don't know if I want you to see me in my pants."
And he says, "Look, either you let me do it, or you don't have it done, and you're going to get ill."
I'd go booper. I go private rather than... And also, if he's a doctor, they have to take an oath, Carl, not to unsettle you. If he starts saying things like that to me... Alright, what if you're having an operation done, probably it's brain surgery, people have finally grown sick and tired of your behaviour, the physician comes in, right? He's got one robot arm, and one eye a bit like the Terminator, and he talks in a... Well, Mr. Pilkington, I will be able to conduct this operation, but you must behave with absolute candour. Oh, that means
I wouldn't put myself in that situation. Because I don't like going to the doctors and that.
Yeah, but you've got this brain disease.
You say about this oath, right? When
Hippocratic oath.
When I was a kid, right,
yeah.
Maybe this is what put me off doctors.
Go
right?
on.
I used to not nick, because we were thrown out, but take a lot of cakes from round the back of this cake shop.
Yeah.
They used to chuck them out at night. Right. And they weren't off, it's just that they've got to be extra cautious, haven't they, these days?
They can't take risks with cakes, Carl.
Right.
You know, that's what did for Janis Joplin. Destroyed her.
So I used to go, jump over the wall, get, like, cream donuts.
Yeah.
They were all there, Congress tarts, all the stuff, you know, brilliant, top quality stuff.
Yeah.
But I think I ate about 4 of these cream donuts.
Yeah.
I think the cream was off. Doctor came round, right, I'm there in bed, absolute agony, right? And he says to me, Mum, can't do anything, it's too late, he's going to die.
Really?
Right, my mum's panicking.
Naturally.
My dad comes in and my mum's like...
We can't do anything, he's going to die.
Yeah, that's what he said. But apparently, like, my dad said, what are you on about? What do you mean he's going to die? And he pops up and sees me, he's like, oh, calls the doctor up and says, what's all this? Like, Carl's going to die. And,
what's all this?
And like he said, no, I was only joking, he's just got, you know, stomach cramps from the bad cream. But that's what I'm saying, what are these oaths that doctors have when you've got people cracking jokes like that?
He shouldn't be, that's against the oaths.
What, just saying stuff
like that? He shouldn't be able to make a joke like, oh, Carl's gonna die in an offhanded way. Lord knows it would have saved us all a lot of trouble.
I want all you skinhead to get up.
That's Alive by Pearl Jam. Before that we had Arctic Monkeys. Before that we had Skinhead Moonstomp. Crikey, what an evening we're all having. Are you enjoying yourself, Carl?
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? We're having a lovely time. This is we've only got one more hour, then we don't do this radio show anymore. It goes back to Nemone. But we've looked after it, innit? It's not like I once had to look after the school rabbit when I was a kid. It got out, it scratched it. Horrible, evil little rabbit it was. Thumper it was called, just I suppose because of Bambi. It got out, it was horrible little thing. I think I might have psychologically scarred it. You know, while I used to just stare at it through the railings, not railings, sort of like mesh. Stared at it through the mesh. Anyway, we've got some text messages we've got to clear up. Someone asking, can you have an apocryphal hash brown if you can have apocryphal rhubarb? Yeah, because it's an untrue story from the past, or untrue things. So you can have an apocryphal, whatever you like. But we're really toying with language here. We've got we've got an answer for the question set by the fella in Fife. Because I've not got the guy's name who says it in front of me anymore, but it's Donna. She says, hello Russell and Carl, are the answers to, let's have a look at the question. It was, it's Tommy from Fife. Scottish garage assistant fella describes diesel and lack of fuel. That's set by Tommy in Fife. The answer, correctly guessed by Donna, is snow patrol. Snow petrol. Snow petrol, right?
That
so
works.
That's right. It's a good one, isn't it? And also it's quite like the ones that you set. And the other one is art brute. That is correct. The clue then was, of course, that painting smells nice. What's going on there? Art brute. They've used your language, so that's really good. We've got this one here from Callum, who's texted us before. He says, that Scottish man describing diesel is hard, and I'm a Scottish man that works in a petrol station. He's capitalised that, so I believe him. You'll have to tell me. Well, we've told you now, that was the correct answer. Steve in Brighton would like to hear Joe Strummer singing White Man in Hammersmith Palais forever. That's what he would like to have that in. But forever?
I know. It's a long time, isn't it?
Forever is a long time, Carl. We may not even live that long. That's what I'm beginning to think. We've got some more, some people have set us some, right, this person here, who is it? That's Nigel Webb from Kendal, Cumbria, who sent an email. Here are my Rockbuster clues, written in the Karl Pilkington vernacular. Right, you've got your own...
all these big words that are just being thrown about willy-nilly.
Vernacular means manner of speaking, right? So, listen, this one. Clue number 1. Well, he's sent in 6, so I'll just do 2 of them, right?
Go on.
And it's in the Karl Pilkington vernacular. Some fellas are buying drugs, right? And, they choose ecstasy, right? And that. What's going on there? What's that all about? And the initials are TP. Some fellas are buying drugs, they choose ecstasy and that. What's going on there? What's that all about? Like, the initials are TP, right? And,
got it.
Yeah, have you got that one?
Yeah, got it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right, but like,
we're leaving it
don't
for
sex,
them.
we'll leave it for
Right,
them.
yeah.
Right, and also if you send in your text whether or not you really want us to nick something off Phil Dupitis' desk, or try and get something off the Little Britain boys, or Carl to get something off Ricky Gervais, it's gonna be a lot of pressure on us, but if you really want a present, we will do it. It's good for us to have responsibilities, I think, Carl. Another one, this is an easy one, I would actually get this one. This is set by Nigel Webb, Kendall Cubria. A book